Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Squad Goals podcast. It's been a minute, but we are back and we have our two stars of the show in front of your screen right now. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yo, what is up, guys? It is great to be back. I know it's been a few months, but we're ready. We're back at it. We're ready to give you guys some good content. As you guys know, one half of the S2 Strikers, Seth.
And what is good? I am finally here in person, giving you the best quality podcast we can ever give you. I'm Simon, and I will prove everything Seth says to be wrong.
Okay.
Alrighty, and the rivalry starting early, and I am your host, your technical director, Gabe Walerziak. I'll be behind the scenes and the voice behind the walls, but I'd show my face for this one. We have Seth and Simone. Let's bring it back to them. And, you guys, the camera's right over there, so feel free to just, contact with the audience and then give them a nice eye when you are speaking. But regardless, we have a lot of World Cup talk to commence. So, Seth, I'd like to hand the floor to you to speak about the 2022 World Cup that is happening in Qatar.
Yes. Just wanted to start off by saying that we will be back recording regularly. I got a new job. Simon was going back to college, and just a lot of things were happening. So that's why we were struggling to get you guys content over the past couple of months. But we're back just in time for the World Cup. We're really excited. But before we get into our predictions and just talking about the World Cup, I just want to talk about Qatar in general, and I want to mention the 6,500 people who worked day in and day out and sacrificed their lives for our entertainment to build all those stadiums brand new, work on different hotels and everything for fans and players, and gave their lives for us. This World Cup never, ever should have happened in Qatar. It should have been somewhere else. FIFA is pretty corrupt and was corrupt during that selection process. And it was just completely unacceptable to host this World Cup here. Obviously, we all love the World Cup time. We're all very excited and can't wait for the games to get underway. But we need to keep in our hearts and remember all the people who made this World Cup happen, just so we can watch and be entertained. So hopefully nothing like this ever happens again. Thankfully, the 2026 World Cup will be here in North America. So definitely should be better, as we already have stadiums established and it's not 1,000,000 degrees here. So I just wanted to make you guys aware of that, and I'm sure you all are, but just to remember to keep all those people in your hearts when we watch and enjoy this World Cup. All right, so thank you for listening to that. But I think we are now ready to get started here on talking about the World Cup matches themselves.
That is what I like to hear. There are going to be a lot of World Cup matches. You have 48 group stage matches and then 15 matches for the knockout stages. So 63 matches overall for the World Cup. Going to be very, very entertaining. I'm curious as to what your guys' favorite World Cup, group stage match that you were looking forward to the most. And then once you guys state that, we will surely get into our predictions or more specifically, your guys' predictions for who is going to advance out of the group stage and who will make it all the way through the knockout rounds to ultimately be crowned the World Cup champion. But let's hand it off to Simone first. Simone, your favorite group stage matchup that you are looking forward to? There's a lot of them. So which one has caught your eye?
Well, in particularly, I guess I'm gonna have to go with Group C because all these other groups have incredible teams. But I guess the format of Group C is just really, really intense. And the reason I say that is because, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone thinks that Argentina is gonna top that group with 3 points, or sorry, with 9 points. And Saudi Arabia is gonna be coming in fourth. So right now, it's really a fight between Mexico and Poland. And that's the game I'm looking forward to the most because that's going to be the most important game of that group to determine whether or not Mexico goes through or Poland goes through. And I think that the stakes are just going to be really high, and it's because of the stakes. It'll be a really, really interesting match compared to some of the other group stages matches because this is for the round of 16. This is to advance in the competition, and unlike these other teams that have easier or harder ways through, like this is just the most intense one. I feel because it's so like getting into the second position is in their grasp, but they're
Right.
really gonna have to fight each other hard to get it. So I'm really, really excited for that one.
I like that one a lot. Mexico, Poland. That's going to be a really good game. For me, I couldn't decide between these two. So I'm going to mention both of them just briefly. But the first one, USA, England. I mean, you got football versus soccer. Like this is a matchup the world wants to see. And I'm just really excited for it as a USA fan, as you can see. I'm hoping for the best for our team, but it's obviously going to be a very tough match. It's going to be a struggle, but should be very entertaining and a fun one to watch the day after Thanksgiving, so should be good. And the other one, I just want to briefly mention, Spain, Germany. Spain, Germany in Group E. I think that might be one of the best matches, one of the best group stage matches in this World Cup. I mean, you got the 2010 World Cup winner going against the 2014 World Cup winner.
Yep.
Two juggernauts in the scene, both young and experienced squads at the same time, going head to head. I think it's going to be a high scoring one. I think it's going to be a really good match. So talk more about it when we get to the individual match, but yeah, that's what I'm really looking forward to as well.
So that's very, very exciting. And yeah, those group stage matches are going to go wild. But as we've mentioned before the show, we have all written down our predictions, and Seth and Simone are going to present to you guys their predictions throughout the group stages, their predictions for who will top the groups, who will advance and make the knockout stages, and who will ultimately be crowned the World Cup champions. So I think without further ado, we got a long show ahead of us. Grab some popcorn because we got a lot of soccer, a lot of football to talk about. And let's start with the very first matchup that is going to happen on, let's just call it day 0 on Sunday, Qatar versus Ecuador. This is a matchup, you got the host nation. They always play first, and they're playing Ecuador. This could be a sneaky matchup, but I'm curious to see what you guys have predicted for this one, and then we'll just follow down the line with the rest of the Group A matches.
Would you like to go first, Simone?
I would love to.
Yeah, go right ahead.
So I know that these games are very, intense because it's the very first one and you have the host nation playing. So they obviously have the majority of the fans there. And honestly, I don't know too much about the Qatar team, and I know a fair amount about the Ecuadorian team. And from what I know, I think Ecuador is going to be taking away a dub here. I think it's going to be a 3-1 win for Ecuador. I think Qatar might be able to sneak in a goal because I know that Ecuador's defense isn't the strongest, but based on the way that they played in the qualifying matches, I think that Ecuador definitely has an easy chance of getting the win here because I don't think Qatar can do much to their team. They were literally third in the qualifying. They beat humongous teams like Colombia and Uruguay and Chile. Like they beat some of the best Latin American teams, and I just don't think that Qatar is going to be the biggest challenge for them.
Right. No, I respect that. I like that. I had a little bit of a different score prediction here. I actually have Qatar, Ecuador finishing 2-2, a draw. So opening matches in the World Cup have tended to be high scoring. They're just very exciting, kicks off a great tournament. And I agree. I do think Ecuador is the stronger team.
Mm-hmm.
They're a very strong defensive team.
Right.
And like you said, they beat really big national teams and CONMEBOL. So the reason though I'm going with a 2-2 draw is, again, Qatar is the host nation. They're going to have all the support behind them. It's the opening game. They're going to be ready. Qatar, they're going to come and fight in this game. And the matchups just get harder for them after this. So they know that they need to grab points now. So they're going to give Ecuador a battle. Like I said, these opening games usually are high scoring. And, Ecuador's pretty good defensively, but I think Ecuador will get out to a quick lead, but I think Qatar is going to rally behind their crowd, come back, and make a statement here and keep their, group stage World Cup hopes alive by getting a good draw against Ecuador.
Kind of similar to what they did in Russia in 2018, right? Because, I didn't expect Russia to even tie that.
Right,
so
exactly. Yeah. That's where I'm going with that one.
Fair enough. Yeah, that is very good predictions. Rounding out Group A, at least for this first match day, you have the Netherlands versus Senegal. Definitely the two favorites to top this group. So who is going to break away with the first points, or will they be shared amongst the teams? Simone, go ahead.
Yeah, so my predictions would have been way different if Senegal had Sadio Mane, and I think that everyone can agree on that because Mane is 100% the best player on that team. With Mane, I thought that it would have been a 1-1 draw with Mane scoring in that game. But without him, I do think that the Netherlands is going to be winning the game 2-0. I think they're going to be able to overpower the team. And I feel like Mane would be able to get the Netherlands on a quick counterattack and get a goal back for them. But without Mane doing that, I don't think that Senegal has much against this complete powerhouse of a team. So it'll be an intense match. And I feel bad for Senegal for losing some of their best players. And I think Netherlands is taking that win.
You couldn't have said that better, man. I completely agree with you, actually. I'm going with a 3-1 scoreline for Netherlands, but still a 2-goal win, comfortable for Netherlands. Again, I think I would have made this much closer if we knew Sadio Mane was 100% healthy and playing in this game. I mean, this guy's a difference maker for his national team. So it's a humongous loss not to have him. And it really does change the output of this game. And the Netherlands are just a strong team overall. I mean, they're strong, very strong defensively. Midfield solid. Their forwards are strong. They have a very balanced team. So I see Netherlands comfortably winning this 3-1. I see them slipping up, giving a goal to Senegal because they do get a little. They can be a little too aggressive defensively, which could lead to a counterattack for Senegal, who does have pace, which is why I think they'll get a goal here. But Netherlands take this one 3-1.
Those are very solid predictions. Honestly, it would be very interesting to see if the Netherlands can capture 3 points on opening day and start off the group with a commanding lead. But with that being said, on Monday the 21st, we have our two Group B matches as well as that Netherlands match. Let's start with England going off against Iran bright and early in the morning, 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, our time. What do you guys think will happen in that matchup? Will England start to establish its dominance early in this group, or will they be surprised by the Iranian national team?
Yeah, this is a really interesting one because I feel like a lot of us don't really know too much about the Iranian team. I think Iran has a very controversial squad in the moment with all the stuff going on in their country. And I feel like the players might not be at their 100% focus because of the issues going on back home. So either way, I thought England was going to be winning this, but I feel like they might just not have that full concentration that you would expect them to have going into the World Cup because of all this criticism and harsh responses that they're getting back from the media for all the things going on. So I feel like they might slip up here, and I think that England could comfortably win this 3-0, maybe 4 even.
I like that. I mean, I think Iran's a dangerous team, and people are really sleeping on them. I mean, I think they're top 20 in the world right now, Iran. And England's been struggling. I mean, we saw them in the UEFA Nations League. I mean, they're already out of their group. They got last. They haven't looked great, but England has so much talent. And I think Iran is going to fight really hard, but I think this is going to be a really ugly game for England. I think they're going to scrape to a 1-0 win over Iran. I don't think they're going to get that goal until like the 80th minute. And it's just going to look ugly. And England, even though they're going to get the 3 points here, they're going to have to rethink for USA and Wales, because how they're going to play in this game, I don't think it's going to look too good. Iran's definitely going to give them a battle. So
Now we enter the matchup that I think all of us, at least here living in the USA, are looking forward to. The United States playing their first World Cup match since the summer of 2014. It's been over 8 years now, and the US's first opponent is Wales. Wales did not do really well in the Nations League. They are on a 5 to 6 game losing streak, or not losing streak, but winless streak, I should say. And the United States, they did not perform too well in their friendlies. Their last win was against Morocco, another World Cup bound team. But this should be an interesting matchup. Obviously, the least of the politically driven matchups for the United States in this group. But what do you guys think? The United States in their first World Cup back in 8 years, Wales in their first in 64. Who gets the dub, or will this be an even tie?
Well, I'm sorry, Gareth Bale. I love you, but I don't think you're going to be getting the win here. I think that the U.S. is going to be able to push out a 1-0 win against Wales. Like you said, Wales has been struggling, and so is the U.S., to be fair. But I think that the U.S. is a lot better right now than it was in previous years, even though they have such a young squad. And I think that Wales really relies on one or two individual players a lot, while the U.S. has a more rounded team. So I think because of that, the U.S. will be able to pick up the victory. Not by a lot, but I think they'll be able to take it away.
That's fair. I'm actually going to go in the opposite direction here with that. And I hate to say it, I really do as a U.S. fan. But I've got Wales winning this 2-1 over the U.S.
Yeah, you're wrong.
I hope I am. I really do. I really hope I'm wrong, but just hear me out. The USA is one of the youngest squads at this World Cup. A lot of these players are like between the ages of 18 and 24, very young, first World Cup, very talented players, but the experience just isn't there, and it worries me. And Wales hasn't been in a World Cup for very long, so they're not experienced either, but they got some good veterans on their team, like Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey, and they have some good young talent too. But I think the US are gonna struggle, and just like England, I think this is gonna be a wake-up call for them. And I think they're gonna keep it close because both teams have been struggling, but this is Gareth Bale's last hurrah for the Wales national team, his first and last World Cup. And this is Wales' first cup since 1958 or something like that. They're coming to play. I can tell you they are going to leave everything out on the field to go as far as they can in this tournament. And that's what scares me, because I think the U.S. might get in a little bit over their heads. Very strong team, but the youth really scares me. And I think Wales capitalize and win it 2-1.
That will
but again, I hope I'm wrong. Let's go USA.
We all hope. We all hope that you're wrong, brother. USA all the way. Let's see how they would do on Monday. So that would be very interesting and a fun one to watch. Let's move on to Tuesday, the next day for match day 1, groups C and D, and the early morning game, I guess, unfortunately, is Argentina versus Saudi Arabia. I feel like we can just skip by this game. I would be shocked if you guys said anything different than a dominant Argentina win, but I'll bring it back to you guys to see, what you think this game might entail.
Yeah. I mean, everyone knows how this game is going to go, and there's a 0.001% chance that Saudi Arabia wins this game, even ties it. Like, I don't even think they could tie it. I'm looking at the rankings right now, and currently they are the 51st team in the world, while Argentina is, I think, third. Yeah. It's not close. It's not going to be close
No.
at all. I don't even want to give a score prediction because I feel like it'll be 3 times as many as I say. So,
Well, I'll give the score prediction
ahead.
for you. Don't worry. Yeah, this is probably gonna be the ugliest game of the World Cup, and I'm being very generous, I think, with this score line. But I've got Argentina 4-0 here over Saudi Arabia.
could be even more.
It really could be. I mean, I think this is gonna be one of those games, honestly, where Argentina start making substitutions at halftime of their best players because they're already up by quite a bit. Saudi Arabia, I'm sorry, but this is one of the World Cup favorites right here, and you guys just got a tough draw. But hey, at least you get it done on match day 1. So that's all I gotta say. There's no more to say about this game.
Yeah, you would definitely think that Argentina will be one to want to rack up that goal differential so they can have a comfortable lead already heading into match day 2. But next up, we have Denmark versus Tunisia. One of these teams is one of our co-stars' favorites, not to win the whole thing, but to at least make a surprising run. Let's see. Can Denmark start off with a nice dub over Tunisia, or will Tunisia pull some sort of upset?
Yeah. Well, Tunisia is not a bad team. I think they're ranked 30th in the world right now, going up against 10th Denmark. And obviously, these statistics mean nothing. In the game, what matters is the game. That's just the number that defines them. But I think obviously Denmark will be taking away the dub, and I don't think it'll be the most comfortable game, but I think that Denmark will have a pretty decent hold on it, and I feel like they're going to be going up 2-0. Denmark has a very solid defense, and especially goalie, so I don't think Tunisia is going to be able to put one past them, and I think that they're going to get one in, and then maybe a late one as well, and they're going to be content with that 2-0 win. So I think it's going to be a very straightforward game. Denmark is not going to mess around. They're not going to, take it away either. They're not going to, go score like 7 goals on them, but it's going to be a comfortable win for sure.
I love that because I also have Denmark winning this game 2-0.
Yep.
Guys, I've been saying it for so long. Denmark is the dark horse in this World Cup. They just are. They are the most underrated team, and the World Cup's not ready for them. They're going to win this comfortably 2-0. Denmark is ready for this World Cup, and Christian Eriksen is going to lead them to some good things here.
Watch them not make it out of the group stage.
All right, listen.
Watch.
That's not going to happen.
Watch.
It's Denmark.
Watch.
Man. They are such a good team. They're amazing. Denmark is making it out easily.
Okay.
Easily. Just wait. You just wait. Why are we whispering? I don't know, man.
And before these tables get flipped, I don't even know what
You're
I was
sleeping on
watching.
Denmark, I'm telling you right now.
Hey, bro.
Denmark wins this game 2-0 easily.
Wait till you hear the rest of my predictions. That's all I got to say.
All right, yeah, let's wait and see. But I'm glad we at least agreed on that one
I do too. I'm
for now.
glad.
So fighting on an agreement. Never thought I'd see the day. But oh my goodness. Okay, guys. So the next matchup is actually Simone's most anticipated matchup, or one of his most anticipated, because he's got us familial relationships that are Polish. We'll be rooting for the Polish against this game, or in this game against Mexico. Simone has a significant other that is Mexican, so Simone is definitely torn, and this is your game to watch, Simone. I will definitely have my eyes glued to the screen as well. Who are you picking to win?
Don't say it.
This match.
Don't say it.
Look,
Don't say it.
2 of my boys are from Poland, all right? My 2 boys are from Poland, and I respect that, and I will sing them happy birthday in their native language. But my girlfriend is from Mexico, and you know what they do in Mexico. They play soccer. And
That's definitely not what I thought you were going to say.
I wasn't going to say, say
Is
that.
that supposed to be racist?
No. What?
Are you saying us Polacks don't play soccer?
No, we play football.
You play football. All right, buddy. Now calm down. Anyways, I think that this is going to be a really, really intense game, like I mentioned before, and I can't wait to watch it. I really want this game to be a tie because I can't see either. I don't want either of them to lose, but I don't think it's going to be a tie. And as much as I
It
want
is.
it to be a tie, Poland is going to take the win here. I love my girlfriend. I wish Mexico does good in the World Cup. I wish Poland does good in the World Cup. But in this game, you have to look at the current standings. I mean, look at the Mexican team. They can't even beat the United States. And don't get me wrong, the U.S. is not a bad team anymore. But if you can't at least beat the U.S. once in like 5 games, how do you expect to go up against these bigger teams such as Poland that, you know, have really, really good strikers? Like the U.S. has decent strikers, decent forwards. But when you're going up against Robert Lewandowski, bro, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to stop him? And especially with their goalkeeper. I mean, the Polish team is very good and they have a very strong foundation. And I don't think Mexico is going to be able to break through. So I see Poland winning it 2-1.
I respect that. I really respect that. You know what? I'm gonna do one. Do you a favor here, help you out in this one, and I'm actually going with that draw.
Oh, really?
I'm going with that
Okay,
draw.
I
Yeah,
respect it.
I got a 1-1 draw between Mexico and Poland here.
That's what I want to happen.
You know, it is really hard to pick between these teams, but like you said, I mean, Poland's got the goal scorers. Robert Lewandowski, I think he's gonna score the 1 goal here. I think
Right.
Poland's gonna go up early.
Right.
I feel like Mexico is, you know, more a second half team. They come on late.
Yep.
And I think they're going to get a late goal here against Poland, catch them on the counter attack. Poland's got a little bit of a slow defense, so Mexico's definitely got some fast players. But this is a really tough one. This is going to be a great game, and this game really could determine like who gets second place in this
Exactly.
group. And I just can't pick between them. So again, I'm rooting for Poland, but I'm torn. So
And if
1-1
this is a
here.
tie, it's gonna come down to who beats Saudi Arabia by more goals because it's
Yeah,
gonna come down to a goal differential. I feel so. This is a very
exactly.
important
Or who
game.
loses to Argentina by less.
That is true. Absolutely.
Exactly.
All right, let's get back to the last match of this day, this Tuesday. We have France versus, well, Australia, and we've mentioned this a couple times on the podcast. But this should have been Peru, but you know what? It's fine. Peru maybe Peru escaped one against France, even though they did play them in the 2018 World Cup.
I do feel bad. I mean, this definitely should have been Peru. I mean, this would have been a much better game if it was against Peru, but
That is understandable.
It is what it is.
So Simone, we know you are expecting France to obliterate Australia, but what do you got?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to see France go that far in this World Cup. They won it last time, and I feel like a lot of their players care more about being stars than a good team, than like good teammates. So I'm not a big French international fan, and the only thing is that I hate Australia even more. Last World Cup, Peru was actually in the same group with Australia and France. And Peru beat Australia and lost to France by 1. So I'm telling you, if Peru was in this game, we would have beaten France. And that's 100% factual. We would have beaten them, and we would have beaten Australia, even though we lost to Australia. We would have beaten them. Anyways, I think France is going to win this 2-0. I don't think Australia is going to have a large attack. They're not going to control possession like that at all. Australia is just going to be playing the counter defensive soccer. They're just going to be, they're just going to be defending the entire time and barely controlling the ball. They're probably going to have like 20% possession while France is completely dominating. But I still don't think France is going to be able to score that many goals. Obviously, France has been struggling in the Nations League, and there is the World Cup curse that a lot of people believe in or don't believe in. But I think that'll kind of come into effect. I don't think it's going to be a big issue because they're still going to win the game, but they're not going to be winning it the way that they should. They should be winning like 5-0 here, but I think it's only going to be 2-0.
I love that. I completely agree. I got 2-0 France
Yes,
here.
sir.
I mean, you couldn't have said it better, man. I mean, I think France are going to struggle in this game. I am a big believer in this World Cup curse. So, but I think they're going to get the result they need. I think it'll be comfortable for them, but they're just not going to look as good as they should be with the talented roster and players that they have. You're right. They should be winning this game by more, but I think they're just going to struggle to find the back of the net. And it's just gonna be a little bit more of a disappointing result, but it's gonna be a good enough result where they'll feel good heading into their next game. So yeah, 2-0 France.
Fair enough. Let's move on to the second to last day of match day 1. We will be looking at groups E and F, and the early morning game is Morocco versus Croatia, one that could really set the stage for a second place seeding potentially in this group. Who do you guys have for this one, Simone?
Yeah, this one is going to be really, really interesting as well. I'm a very big Hakim Ziyech fan. I think he's a great player, especially on Ajax. Not as good on Chelsea, but I think he's a phenomenal player. And I think after not having played for the international team for such a long time because of his disagreements with the coach, now that he's finally on that team, I think that he is going to make a big impact. And I feel like he's actually going to score in this game. However,
Forget about Hakimi as well.
You're right. He is a great player as well, but obviously he's a defender, so I don't think he's going to be on the score sheet. But he is also a phenomenal defender as well. You're right.
He does help that Moroccan defense.
Absolutely. He makes crazy runs up top. He might get the assist. Imagine Hakimi assist to Hakim Ziyech.
Yeah,
that
be
could
something.
100% happen. I do see Croatia winning this game though, 2-1. I think it'll be a very close game because the Moroccan team is not an easy team. There's no way. There's no way you have 2-1 as well.
Dude, I got 2-1 Croatia, dude. What is going on right now? Are we sharing the same spreadsheet
I'm
here?
reading his mind today.
Bro.
I am on fire. That's 3 for 3 in a row right there.
Wow. I mean, yeah, dude. 2-1 Croatia all day. I think this Morocco team's they're gonna be good. They're gonna put up a good fight here. It's going to be interesting to see because this Croatian team, who just 4 years ago were in the World Cup final, they have a lot of those same players, but they're 4 years older
Way older now. And they were already old in 2018.
I know. So I think this Croatian team's still going to be really good. They've got Luka Modric, midfield maestro. So anything's possible with him. But I think Croatia does just enough. I think Croatia's going to struggle to score a lot in this World Cup, but I think they create enough chances with how talented their midfield and wingers are to just do enough to scrape by and get this win over Morocco 2-1. But it's going to be tough for them because this Moroccan team is young, hungry, they're fast.
Very fast.
Yeah, very, very fast. So this is going to be tough for Croatia, but I think they do enough here to contain them and get this win 2-1.
I like that.
There we go. All righty. So next up on the list is a pretty interesting game. One that would be fun to watch, or will be fun to watch. Germany versus Japan. This could be interesting. Will Japan avoid embarrassment from the always, masterful German squad? Will Germany not do well in this World Cup, just like in 2018? There's a lot of variables that go into this, but Japan are definitely the underdogs in this one. What do you guys got going on for this matchup?
This is going to be a really intense game, and I'm really excited for it because
this is going to be a crazy game.
Japanese team is actually really good, and so is the German team, but I'm really impressed lately in the Japanese team. A lot of their qualifying matches, they won like 14-0, 13-0, like getting over 10 goals a game, which is ridiculous. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to overcome Germany, though. I think that Germany is going to win this game 3-1. There's no way. Oh, okay, thank God.
Dude, but like off by a goal.
what did you have?
Dude, I've got Germany winning this 3-2. Because I really think this is gonna be a crazy game. Like, this is gonna be a high scoring, fun affair. Japan are gonna keep it really interesting. They're gonna push Germany's limits. Again, just like Morocco, fun, young, exciting, fast team. Germany's also a young team. I mean, they got some veterans in there too, so it's a good balance for them. But I think I think Germany's just a little too tough for Japan, and I think Germany's going to be able to hang on. But Japan's gonna make this exciting, guys. They're really gonna stir up some drama in this group. So just
The
be
way
ready
I
for
see
it.
it, the way I see it is it's going to be a 1-1 draw for a very long time. Then Germany's going to get a goal and they're going to be fighting it out. You know, Japan is going to be coming so close to tying it 2-2, and then at the last minute Germany's going to get a third one to seal the deal in like the 88th minute, and they were going to win the game. But, you know,
I
it's
like
going to be an intense game.
I like it. Yeah, I think Germany's they're gonna go out early lead, I think, and then Japan's gonna try to mount that comeback, but just fall short.
Completely.
But it leaves them with plenty of optimism.
Heading
Into their next couple of matches.
Mm-hmm.
Really
That is
excited for this
pretty
game.
good to hear. Now, on the other side of Group E, Spain is taking on Costa Rica in their first match day just a few hours later. Costa Rica, the Shockers in the 2014 World Cup, made it farther than nobody thought, or than what everybody thought they would.
It was
they would
insane
go.
how they won that group in 2014.
Spain crash out of the group in 2014 and lose in PKs to Russia in 2018. Spain, this same squad that Seth unfortunately did not bring on David De Gea or Sergio Ramos on to their squad.
Just disrespectful, really.
What is going to happen? Will Costa Rica continue their upsetting ways in the World Cup, or will Spain continue to be upsetting? What's going to happen?
I mean, listen, like, Simone and I both agree that them not bringing David De Gea or Sergio Ramos, big mistake. You need that veteran leadership for sure. And, you know, they still have it. I mean, they've got Jordi Alba. They've got Sergio Busquets, but it's not the same.
They're no captains.
It's not the same. Yeah,
They're
it's
no
not. It's not a Ramos. It's not a De Gea. So that scares me a little bit. This Spain team is very young, but they're very strong. I think this Spain midfield is one of the best at the World Cup. Pedri, Gavi, Busquets, Koke. I mean, you got a lot of good talent in this midfield. So, yeah, I really think this is going to be an interesting match. What scares me about Spain is their forwards. Alvaro Morata. Really?
He's played for every good team. That's the funny thing, though.
I mean, like, you know, Ferran Torres has been a little bit out of form. I mean, Pablo Sarabia, they got options, but it's like, who's that real like goal scoring threat? Like that's where I think Spain's gonna struggle. I think Spain is gonna be able to create chances after chances after chances, like with that insane midfield of theirs. But I think they're gonna really struggle to get it in the back of the net, and
especially against Keylor Navas.
Exactly, against one of the best keepers in the world, Keylor Navas, and because of that, and Costa Rica has a good defense too. I'm actually going with a very surprising result here: 0-0.
There's no way.
0-0. There's
Oh no!
Oh boy.
I have it 0-0 as well. I have it 0-0.
No way.
I wanted to say it first too because I knew that he was gonna say that, and I wanted to get it out first.
I'm
but-
sorry, man. I'm really mad that Ramos and my boy David De Gea is not going to this World Cup. So I just started talking and
No, you're completely good. I'm just saying,
Bro,
like, I completely agree with you though. I don't think Spain is going to be able to finish their chances.
Yeah, like you could see this happening. Like really, like I could see this easily happening. Yeah.
Oh boy.
And if they do, it'll literally be one. Like there's no way that there's going to be more than 2 goals in this game. It's going to be a maximum of 1 goal if anyone scores. Even though I do think it's 0-0.
I would be very shocked if there was more than 2 goals in this game. Yeah.
Exactly.
It is crazy to consider all of Spain and what they've done in terms of the players they're bringing on and the talent that they are facing in front of them. But regardless, we will see how they do. And our last matchup of this day is Belgium versus our native, or not our native, but our buddy CONCACAF team. Of course, our friend Isaiah is from this country.
Oh, I forgot about Rodri too.
Oh yeah.
For Spain. Sorry. I just like came to my head. Okay.
You want to let me continue?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just
Canada in their first World Cup in 30 years is facing off against Belgium. We have a CONCACAF team, a new CONCACAF team in the World Cup after quite some time. How do you guys think this new CONCACAF team, Canada, despite being one of the largest countries, the largest country in North America, haven't been to a World Cup in a minute? How are they going to do their young squad against the final chance of Belgium's golden generation?
The final chance. I mean, you can slowly see this Belgium team losing players left and right. And I don't mean like actually losing the players. I'm just talking about the quality of the player significantly going down. You know, you had prime Eden Hazard in 2017, 2018, and it just goes downhill. And you're seeing that De Bruyne is like reaching his peak. Like, this is the best we're gonna see De Bruyne at. He's not gonna get any better than this. He's already phenomenal, but he's not gonna get better. From now on, it's just gonna be a slow downhill ride. And despite all the talent that Belgium has, I think they are going to win the game, but it's still going to be very close because the Canadian team has a lot of young players that are really willing to give it a lot. I've seen a lot of players on that team play really well, especially against the United States. I was really surprised on how well Canada is actually playing. I think it's going to be a 2-1 victory for Belgium. I think it's going to be 1-1 for the majority of the game, and I think that Belgium is going to be able to sneak out one extra goal in the very end. I know the Belgium are the heavy favorites, but I just don't see Belgium completely dominating this game. They never have.
Yeah.
Like, in these World Cups, they're ranked so highly and they have such good players. But for some reason, it seems like they can't ever dominate a game the way they should. On paper, they should be winning 5-0. But in reality, I don't think they're going to get more than 2 goals on them.
I completely agree with you. I do have Belgium squeaking out a win here. I'm adding a goal each to your goal. So another high scoring 3-2. I think this is going to be a bit of a thriller, actually. It reminds me a lot of Germany, Japan, where you got that young, exciting team coming in, like Canada, against a team like Belgium. Belgium, obviously a little, quite a bit older than Germany. But yeah, like you said, that golden generation is coming to an end. Those great players, a lot of them, this is it for them. Some of them just not in the same form like they used to be. Obviously, you have one of the best midfielders in the world in Kevin De Bruyne, who's at just the best form right now, at the top of his game. I mean, this guy.
With the world-class goal scorer to finish all his chances.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it's just... Belgium they just frustrate you. They really do. Like, they're just such a frustrating
so
team.
much better than they are.
Yeah, they should. And I agree with you. They're gonna get this win, but it's not gonna be by any large margin. Canada's gonna keep it close. They're very exciting, but I think Belgium's experience is gonna push them over here in this first game. So I got them 3-2 here.
I like that. I just don't think that either of those teams are gonna be able to score that many goals.
You know, the thing is that I just don't like both defenses.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't. So I think there's going to be a lot of chances. And I think Canada's going to really put pressure on Belgium to keep pace with them. And, I mean, Belgium's known for giving up quite a few goals.
That's true.
So this is an exciting match for me. And, I mean, listen, it could either be a really low scoring or it could be really high. Like, it just depends on the day, obviously. But
very true.
I just don't like both defenses, and I think both teams have very strong attacks. So leads to a lot of goals.
I like it.
Yeah,
very
we'll
understandable. Solid predictions. It will be interesting to see if Canada can keep up with Belgium or vice versa. But let's move on to the final match day of match day 1, which unfortunately for us was on Thanksgiving Day. So it'll make watching these teams, watching these games, and making content about these very difficult. But we're going to try our best regardless. So if you live in the U.S. and you're spending Thanksgiving watching these soccer games, football games, have at it. But the first matchup on Thanksgiving morning is Switzerland, the team that you could say is the reason that Italy is not in this World Cup, versus Cameroon, a team that somehow got in the World Cup despite Algeria having the win with like a second to go in the match with one kick.
Mahrez, man.
But anyways, so two teams with an interesting history on their path to get to the World Cup. And honestly, Group G and H here are some of the more under talked about groups in this league because you have some other exciting groups, but these groups can still make the World Cup very interesting. I'm curious to hear your guys' opinions. Let's start off with this first game. As I mentioned, Switzerland versus Cameroon. Does Cameroon stand a chance, or will Switzerland maybe continue its not so great form like in Nations League?
They might not be in great form in the Nations League, but Switzerland is a very, very good team, and they remind me a lot of Denmark with that dark horse ability.
Yep.
The issue is that they tend, what I've noticed with Switzerland is that they tend to play up to their opponents and then down to their opponents. So basically what I mean by that is that if the team is like a heavy favorite, like France, for example, they tend to play really well and they're able to get these counterattacks in, you know?
Yeah.
But when they're playing against a team that isn't as well known or as highly marked, like Cameroon, I feel like they tend to struggle because they tend to play down to like that level and they're not playing as intensely as they would against a bigger team.
Yeah.
Which is why I kind of see this going 1-1 draw. I think Switzerland probably deserves to win, but I just don't see it happening. I feel like they're going to play down to Cameroon. And not that Cameroon is a bad team by any means. I just don't think that they're going to have that same energy, that same team, combination of team focus and unison that they had against France, against Cameroon, at least this part in the competition. I think it's going to take another game or two until we really see that version of Switzerland again, which is why I think that it's going to be a slow start for them with a 1-1 tie.
I like that. No, it's funny that you brought up that point because I was gonna say almost the same thing. It's really odd because Switzerland do play really well against really good countries, and then not so well against not as good countries. So it's kind of odd. I completely agree with that. But for me, I do like Switzerland in this one. I actually got them winning this 2-0. Cameroon is just so lucky to be here. Like, they're not a bad team, but again, that Algeria game, I mean, it really should have been them. But I mean, hey, they did it. They got here, but I just think they're really, really gonna struggle in this group. I just don't see a lot of promise for Cameroon here. And even though Switzerland, they struggle against lesser opponents, I just think Switzerland understand the circumstance they're in, that they need to get 3 points here,
Right?
because they play Brazil next. So they understand what needs to happen, and like maybe because it's the World Cup, they raise those expectations a little bit and actually play up to Cameroon instead of down to them.
Right.
So
It could happen.
It could. And Switzerland's got some very solid players. They're a good balance of veterans, some strong veterans, and a few young players in there too. I think Switzerland's just going to overwhelm this Cameroon team and get a good 2-0 result here.
Fair enough.
Nice.
Fair enough.
Nice,
Now,
nice.
next match up for match day 1 is definitely going to be highly persuaded on one player's availability for a certain club or for a certain national team. We have Uruguay going up against South Korea. This is a very fun matchup, I feel. And Song Heung-min's availability will be, or Heung-min Song, however you want to pronounce it, is, he's injured, but he is really working towards getting back. And I think this matchup can be very entertaining one way or another, because these are both somewhat fun teams to watch. What is going to happen in this matchup, guys?
This is gonna be a really interesting game.
This is definitely gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I think I think Son's availability is huge. To me, Son's availability on South Korea is almost as big as Sadio Mane's on Senegal.
Right.
Like it's that level of impact,
Yeah. He's also like their leader. I mean,
right.
He has that leadership trait where he can, get these guys to work with him.
Right.
Without him there, it's they seem kind of lost.
Right. I completely agree. And because of that, I've got Uruguay taking this game. Actually, I think people are sleeping on Uruguay, forgetting kind of how good of a team they actually have coming to this World Cup, the players they have. So I got Uruguay winning this 2-1. I think South Korea is going to keep it close. They're going to frustrate Uruguay. But at the end of the day, I think Uruguay is going to find a way. I mean, they have probably the best strikers group coming to this World Cup. Darwin Nunez, Luis Suarez, Edison Cavani. I mean, that's you got Valverde, who not a striker, but very talented
Very good
winger /
midfielder.
midfielder.
Yeah.
And they've got a solid defense. I believe Araujo is now back from injury from Barcelona. I think I'm saying his name right, Ronald Araujo. So that will be big for them. If he's playing,
I actually
is he playing? I thought I heard something that he was coming back. So,
it says that he will not play in the World Cup group stage matches.
okay, so
But he's a phenomenal player. You're right, but
so
I don't
I think they
he'll-
brought him, but maybe he's just not going to be available.
Yes, so he was named on the list for the 26
Okay.
players that will travel to Qatar, but he has a serious thigh injury.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So you got him, you got Godin. I mean, you got a really
Mhm.
solid team for Uruguay, and I think they're gonna do just enough here to get past South Korea.
Right. Yeah, I like that too. I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with Uruguay. I think they are going to win this game 2-0. I think if Son was playing, then it might be 2-1. I don't think it'll be a big difference though, whether or not he plays, because I still think that South Korea won't be able to win this game, unfortunately.
Right.
I do love the Uruguayan team. I was a big fan of Diego Forlan back in the day. I think Suarez is an amazing striker. The thing is that he's not playing at that level that he was the last few seasons. He went back to his boyhood club, which I completely respect, and I know that you're not going to just lose your touch in one season. But I feel like he hasn't had the same level of intensity that he has in past
Right.
years. So I feel like he might be a little off, unfortunately. And I have a really big issue with Darwin Nunez. I think he has a lot of potential. I just think that he's very indecisive and has a lot of problems when the goal, like when his path to goal isn't clear. So when the ball is coming to him and he has a clear shot on goal, and he'll take it, and most of the time he'll make it. But when there's a small, issue with one defender being in front of him, it's like his brain shuts off and he forgets how to pass the ball or how to dribble or anything.
Right.
I've seen a lot of times of him being selfish at Liverpool this season, where they could easily score a goal, but instead of passing the ball, he shoots it from a ridiculous angle and completely misses it. So as good of a striker as Darwin Nunez is, I think he has a lot of he lacks a lot of that maturity and experience. So I think that he will struggle a bit. I think Cavani is actually going to be the one to step up for them in this game. And yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be a 2-0 win for Uruguay as well.
Hey,
so.
I don't like that slander against my fantasy player, Darwin Nunez.
Hey, bro.
The man, never mind the fact that he got a red card in his second match, but I'm keeping my eye on you, buddy.
He's had 2 good game weeks out of 16.
But anyways, all right. Now that I know how Simone feels about my boy Nunez.
I mean, I like your points, yeah, but yeah, Uruguay,
I mean, with
think
time,
will-
he'll be a very good striker, but just right now, for the moment.
Yeah, that's fair.
How
Okay.
old is he?
That's fair.
Well, now I know how Simone
pretty
feels
young.
about Darwin Nunez.
He's 23.
Let's-
Give him 4 years. That's all he needs.
We'll see him be a superstar in the USA World Cup. But anyways, Portugal versus Ghana is the next matchup on Thanksgiving Day, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Portugal, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo, the star on that team. Also got some other players like Bruno Fernandes and some others that I'm struggling to name off the top of my head. And Ghana, these two teams were actually in the same group in the 2014 World Cup with the United States, so they have a little bit of a history of playing together. Will Portugal start this World Cup off with a bang and beat Ghana, or will Ghana have another surprising, upset, just like they did against Nigeria to get here? What will Ghana do against Portugal, or what will Portugal do against Ghana? Seth, this is kind of your club, your national team, so I'll have you start this.
Yeah, no, Portugal are going to take care of business here on day 1 against Ghana. I mean, I've got a comfortable 3-1 win here for Portugal. Portugal's just too talented. They have so much depth and so much individual talent. And they looked okay at the Nations League, like nothing crazy, but they had really good moments and then not so good. But I think come World Cup time, come this Ghana game, they're going to be a unit. And I mean, you've got the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, you got Bruno Fernandes, you got Joao Felix, you got Bernardo Silva, you got Diego Jota, You got Rafael Leao, Joao Cancelo, Diego
Mhm.
Dallo. I mean, like,
Insane team. Insane
the
team.
talent is crazy for Portugal. Like, if you just think about Ronaldo's team from like 2018, even
Or
2014, like
before that, yeah. Like there's a few
n-
decent
Portugal
players on
was,
there.
yeah, they always had a few decent,
Hmm.
but they never had that squad.
And now it's
And now
finally coming together.
it's all these like
Mhm.
young Portuguese youngsters really coming into their own. This is gonna be a good World Cup for Portugal. I see them struggling a little bit defensively. I mean, you got Ruben Diaz, who's a staple point for them, staple point for Man City. You got Pepe, who is just a madman back there. He's getting
Monster.
older, but he can still hold his
He's-
own.
He is still very aggressive.
Yeah. So, but I think Portugal's defense holds a little bit of a high line. They could be exposed
They're not the
on a
fastest
counter attack.
either.
Not the fastest.
Yeah.
So I could see a team like Ghana getting a goal, or
Mhm.
team scoring on them.
Did you say your prediction for the score?
Yeah, I said a 3-1 Portugal.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going with. I got Ronaldo getting a brace here. I think he's gonna score at least 2 of the goals here. He's gonna start this World Cup strong, and yeah, let's go Portugal.
Yeah. I'm not going to speak much on that because Seth said most of the things. I can totally see Ghana scoring a goal, but I am going to go with Portugal 3-0, just to have a little difference here.
I like that too.
Yeah. I mean, it's completely possible for them to do that. They have very fast players, and if they catch them on the counterattack, it'll be an easy goal. But yeah, I think it'll be a 3-0 game for them.
Makes a lot of sense to me, ladies and gents. All right, the final match of match day 1 on Thanksgiving Day. We have Brazil going up against Serbia. Brazil, another World Cup favorite. What will they do? Will they start their group off with a commanding win against Serbia? Serbia, some decent success in League B for the Nations League. So either way, Brazil, still a heavy favorite. I assume you guys are picking them to win this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't going to be easy for Brazil, though.
No.
I mean, people are sleeping on this Serbian national team. I mean, this is the team that beat Portugal on the last day of World Cup qualifying, that knocked Portugal into, they had to go to the knockout or the playoffs to make it to this World Cup because Serbia won that group, beating them on the last day. I mean, they're a strong team. They defensively, they're good. They got a good midfield, a couple good strikers. Very balanced team, very tough team to beat. So they're not going to make it easy on Brazil whatsoever. I do have Brazil winning this game, though, 2-1. I think it's going to be very close. I don't think Brazil are going to, everybody expects Brazil to score 3-4 goals a game. I don't think it's going to be this game.
No.
Serbia's just too tough, but Brazil is just insanely talented that I cannot bet against them here. Just too creative in all phases of their game. Such good players everywhere you look on the pitch, that it could overwhelm Serbia a little bit, but I think Serbia is really going to hold their own, and I think it's going to be a little bit of a scrappy win for Brazil.
Yeah.
And Serbia, even though they lose, I think they'll be proud of what they were able to do, and they'll look good in their next 2 games. So
Yeah, this is going to be a really good test for both of these teams. It'll be very close. I agree. I think that Brazil will definitely take that win home.
yeah, I agree. Yep.
It'll be a very close match, but for some reason I don't, like Seth said, I don't see Brazil, going
Racking
crazy.
up the goals.
Yeah. Like,
I don't either. Just not this one.
yeah, I mean, Serbia has a pretty solid defensive
They do.
defensive shape, and I think that for some reason Brazil might score an early goal, do their little dancing celebrations, get all happy, but then I feel like Serbia will easily be able to clap back, or not easily, but they'll clap back fairly quickly. I really think it's going to be 2-1 as well, but I'm going to say 3-1. I feel like it'll be 2-1 for a very long time with Serbia, like knocking on the door, trying to get it to 2-2, and then at the end, Brazil is going to score a third one and run away with that victory. But I think still, despite the 3-1 win, it's going to be a very close game as well.
All right, and that is it for match day 1, ladies and gentlemen. We got through a lot of matches, but we still have 2 more to go. We're going to fly through these just a little bit because they're not happening immediately, but we still want to predict them and see how the rest of these group stage matches will shape out. And the first match on Black Friday, the very first match in the morning, is Wales against Iran, a matchup that no one really talks about in Group B. Everyone's talking about USA, England, USA, Iran, USA, Wales, Wales, and England. But no one's talking about this one, Wales versus Iran. What's going to happen here, guys?
I've got a shocker here, actually.
You have Iran winning.
1-0 Iran.
Wow.
Yeah. Listen, this Iran team has been slept on. I said it for the first time. And I think they're going to come back from what I predicted was the 1-0 England over Iran. I think they're going to come back from that and get a 1-0 win of their own over Wales here. I think Wales are going to be coming off a high after their win over the U.S., which I think is going to happen. And then Iran is just going to kind of bring them down back to earth and honestly control this game and get a good one and prevent all of Wales' chances and get a good 1-0 win here.
Nice. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think this is going to be a 1-1 draw. I think that they're both going to be a very evenly matched team. I think they're 19th and 20th in the world right now.
Yeah,
they're like
neck and neck.
literally it's a very close game, and it's going to be really interesting. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game at all, like Seth, you said as well.
No.
So yeah, I'm predicting a 1-1 draw. It'll be really close though.
Yeah,
Could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
It very well could go either way. Next matchup is Qatar, the host nation, going up against Senegal. Now, Qatar, I feel like their form in this matchup will vary very much depending on their performance against Ecuador and how that will shape the team. And of course, it'll be interesting to see how Senegal approach this without Sadio Mane. Do you guys still think Qatar has a chance to break through at all, or will Senegal get the win here?
I think if Sadio Mane is not in this game,
I
which I don't think he will be.
Yeah, I don't think he comes back till after the group stages.
Which I don't. Yeah. So because of that, I think this is actually gonna be closer than people think.
Yeah.
I still have Senegal winning it 2-1. They still have talented players, aside from Mane. But Qatar's gonna be that like annoying little gnat that just never goes away from your face, and they're really gonna put the pressure on Senegal. But Senegal understand the position they're in. We both think they're going to lose to the Netherlands, so that puts them at 0 points. They know they need to get 3 points now.
Yeah.
So I think they have the players and talent to do it, even without Mane. But I think it's going to be scrappy.
Yeah.
So I got Senegal just edging out 2-1 here over Qatar.
I like that. I agree. It will be scrappy. For some reason, I've normally been a big fan of these host nations, but I guess in the circumstances that this World Cup was formed and produced, like the corruption and the death and the just all these factors make me really dislike the Qatar team, and I hate to do that because I don't like having bias against any of these teams.
Right.
But I just dislike the team, sadly.
It's tough because like you can't really blame the Qatar players.
Yeah.
Like it's more the Qatar
the
nation.
the nation, exactly.
It makes no, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. It's just it's tough for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that it will be a close game, but we have to give credit and respect where it's due to the AFCON winners.
Yes.
Don't forget, like they won this championship not long ago against Egypt. They beat one of the best players in the world, Mohamed Salah. And not that Egypt is a lot, an amazing team, but they are a very good team still. And I think that Senegal will be winning this game 2-0. I'm not giving any goals to Qatar. It will be close. They won't win it easily. Like I said, I think it'll be a 1-0 goal for Senegal, and then they're not going to score again until like the 80th and make it a 2-0 win for them.
I like that.
Fair enough. Yeah, that will be a game for sure, one to watch and see what happens with both of these teams in the standings. Next up, a game that we don't really talk about too often, but one that could be very interesting on our radars, the Netherlands versus Ecuador. Ecuador held their own against the CONMEBOL in World Cup qualifying against some of the bigger nations in that continent. And the Netherlands is just always a force to be reckoned with. So this game, who knows? I mean, I'm putting the floor to you guys because I can't decide.
This is going to be a really, really fun game. You're going to have this powerhouse of the Netherlands that's strong in every single part of the pitch versus Ecuador, who's kind of an underdog
Big time.
in recent times in South American and soccer, because they haven't really been at that many World Cups lately.
Right.
They haven't even come close to qualifying a few times, and I just think that like we need to give respect to Ecuador. They're a great team. They came in third. That's pretty impressive. Like, don't get me wrong. Argentina and Brazil are almost always going to have that first and second position in World Cup qualifying. These teams are phenomenal. But coming in third, that means you're going over Chile, Colombia, Uruguay, all these other really good Latin American teams. So I think that they are a very good team, and I think they are going to get a goal in, but I think Netherlands is going to get 2. I think it's going to be a 2-1 win for Netherlands. It'll be a very close game, but you're going to see that the experience from the Netherlands is going to come out. It's going to show, and at the end, they're going to break the draw from 1-1 to 2-1.
Well, damn, brother, you couldn't have said it any better. 2-1 Netherlands here. I mean, listen, you said it. I mean, I think Ecuador is going to frustrate the Netherlands. I think the Ecuador's defense severely underrated. Netherlands are going to struggle to score here, and I think it's going to take them a little while to break through this tough Ecuadorian defense. But Ecuador, they're no joke. They're here to play, and I don't think the Netherlands are going to be able to score as many goals in this game as I think they will in their other 2 games. I think it's going to be relatively close, like you said. So I like that score prediction, 2-1.
Absolutely.
Let's get it. That game will be one to watch for sure. But another one that will be fun to watch is the next game, the last game on Black Friday. The United States of America running it back against England. Are we going to prevent England from bringing it home, bringing football home? The United States, youngest squad in the entire World Cup. This is going to be one to watch, and we are the underdogs in here. We are the underdogs in this matchup. This is for sure. So let's see what happens. This one's going to be impossible to predict. We're all rooting for the USA, but will it actually happen? Here's the predictions.
I mean, here we go, back for another revolutionary war.
We're
gonna show them who the real patriots are.
This is gonna be interesting. Listen, for me, I'm really excited for this game. I really hope it's closer than I think it's actually gonna be. For me, unfortunately, and I again, big USA fan. I hope I'm completely wrong about this. This is just based off my football knowledge, my what I think, but I really hope I'm wrong. But I got England winning this 3-1 actually. So this is why I think. I mean, the England squad, they're experienced. They are obviously more talented than the US, and I just in my head, I'm just trying to think right now. You look at a front line of England. What would you think the front line of England's national team would be? Harry Kane, Foden, Sterling, maybe Mounts in there,
Madison,
yeah,
maybe Grealish if he's
like
a bunch
talent,
of players, a lot of talented players.
Talent. Harry Kane scares me the most out of all of them, by the way.
Goal machine.
I'm sorry,
goal
but
machine.
Exactly.
Thank God.
I just can't. I just can't see Walker Zimmerman, Aaron Long, Serginho Dest, Antoine Rob. Like, no disrespect to the United States defense, but how are you stopping that? I'm just really worried that Kane is just gonna be unleashed, and it's not gonna be pretty. So I've got England here comfortably taking this game 3-1, even with their recent struggles. But it's just, you look at the U.S. defense, and it's the one area of the team that's just like it doesn't excite you. So especially with Miles Robinson, tearing his ACL last year, so we lose a big center back there. I just don't see it happening for the U.S. in this game against England either. And I hate to say it, because now that puts the U.S. at 0-2 for me, losing to Wales and then going right to England. Playing England and losing right to England. So, 3-1 England.
Interesting. Well, I do have USA winning their match against Wales. So we will have 3 points by that point in time.
I hope you're right, man. I do hope you're right.
And going back to the game, I do think England will beat us, like Seth said. It's really hard to predict the score here because it could this game could either be extremely close with England winning or not even close at all with England winning. The thing is, the one thing in common is that England is gonna win. Unfortunately, we are not ready to compete at that level yet. We have very young players with really high potentials, but they're not ready yet. And maybe in the next World Cup we will be, but as of right now, we do not have the maturity or the experience yet to play against this team. And I wanted to say 2-0, but I think that Seth's prediction is actually better. I think 3-1 because we do have a decent attack and we could get a nice counter in there. But
the USA will get their one goal off a Harry Maguire mistake. So that's how they're gonna get their one goal.
Harry Maguire own goal.
Yeah,
That would be the cream of the crop.
That will be the one goal
my
the US get because if Harry Maguire's playing, then you're not keeping that clean sheet. So
if that happens, you got to clip this.
I will remember to run this back if the USA score because of Harry Maguire. Anyways, guys, that was it for the first day of match day 2. Of course, we have to have extensive talks about the United States. They're our bread and butter. Our national team will be rooting for them. But next up, a team that we will be rooting very much against, Australia, going up against Tunisia on the next day. I'm sure we'll all be rooting for Tunisia in this one just for vengeance purposes. But I don't know. I feel like Tunisia might be kind of slept on, so this one could be very interesting. I'm curious to hear you guys' opinions.
I completely agree with that statement. They are slept on, and I think they win this game. I think it's close. I think this is a game Australia believes they can win, so they're gonna fight, as hard as they can to keep their hopes alive after falling to France in that first game. So I got Tunisia 2-1 here. Nothing crazy, but I think Tunisia know what spot they're in as well. And like you said, definitely a sleeper team. They're a very strong AFCON team for sure. They've got really good talent. And again, just not a fan of Australia, not a fan of what they're bringing to the World Cup. Again, they're not a terrible team, but I just don't think they have what it takes to beat a team like Tunisia. But this will be the game they really put up a fight, Australia, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah. I agree. I think Tunisia will be winning this game 5-0. I hate Australia. I don't think it's actually going to be us 5-0, but I'm going to leave it at 5-0 because I want Australia to know that I hate them and that I don't want them to do well.
I like that. Respect.
This is probably the one that I'm trying the least in, and that's just because Australia is a bad team. Australia's a bad team, and it should be Peru there, and we should be beating Tunisia. It's a Peru spot. We would be topping our group, beating France and Denmark. I'm just kidding. But okay. Back to reality. I think his name is Andrew Redman. I think.
Yeah, he's the keeper.
Yeah, I was looking for him. I hate that song. I'm not gonna say it. I don't like him, and I want to see him get scored on, and I hope that Tunisia can put at least 2 past him. So, reality, I think it'll be a 2-0 win for Tunisia, but I'm hoping it's a 5-0 win at least.
All right,
I like it.
All right.
Fuck you, Andrew Redman.
Okay, let's calm the waters real quick. Let's calm the waters.
I actually hate that guy.
That's understandable. I think we all hate him too. We were watching that game live.
Dear, this dude. That's funny.
What can I
That's
say?
so
that guy's
funny.
a bitch, man.
That's fair.
Okay, so
That's fair.
let's get back to it.
Okay. So the next matchup is we're gonna calm the waters a little bit. Next matchup we have Poland versus Saudi Arabia. Now I already know Seth is going to go with a nice Poland dub, and Simone, I just really hope you believe in us, the Poland nationals.
I do.
To get the win against Saudi Arabia. Seth, what is the scoreline going to be? 3-0, 8-0? What's going to happen?
Wow, you predicted me. I was gonna say 3-0. That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I had 3-0, but I changed it to 3-1. Gave Saudi Arabia a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because Poland's defense is a little slow and poor, to be honest.
I mean, we did let 6 goals up to Belgium.
Yeah, so
Ooh, I did forget about that.
yeah, so I think Saudi Arabia will, because they're not terrible, but so they'll get one in there. But this is where Lewandowski comes in, gets his hat trick, and gets his goal scoring tally going here for Poland. So comfortable Poland win here. Nothing else to say about it. 3-1 Poland.
I'm gonna go 4-1 Poland. Actually, I changed my mind.
Even better, man.
Yeah,
give us the more goals.
I
man.
think you guys get more goals. I do agree though. I do think you concede one, but I think you get more goals. And I agree. I
Thanks,
like
man.
that. Poland is taking that dub.
We will be rooting for Poland all day, every day. Now, the last two matches of this day, the 26th of November, is going to be probably the two most entertaining matches of this day. First up is France going up against Denmark, and I don't even need to turn it to I don't even need to turn it to Seth to know what he's going to pick because Denmark has already proven themselves against France in the Nations League. But Seth, I guess I'll have to turn it back to you. Are they going to do it again?
Yes, they are.
You damn right they are. Of course they're gonna do it again. Not only. Thank you. Yes. Not only are they gonna beat France once, twice, but 3 times. In this calendar year, Denmark will have defeated France 3 times. They beat them twice in the Nations League. They will beat them a 3rd time at the World Cup with another scoreline, because I think this was one of the games. I think they beat them 2-1 Denmark here. Denmark gets this win over France. They're their kryptonite. They just are. And France is not going to be able to beat this Denmark team. They're going to frustrate them. Denmark is going to create good chances. And we've talked about it before in previous podcasts. Denmark is very good when the ball gets into the box. Yeah. When deliveries and crosses get into the box, Denmark scores. And I think that's what's going to happen here. They're going to get 2 very pretty goals in this game. France is obviously a strong team, so they're going to, they'll get a goal, but Denmark's going to frustrate them and make sure they, don't get any of these any more chances scored besides that one goal. So yeah, Denmark 2-1 here. I have confidence in my boys here to pull it out.
I like that. I completely agree with that scoreline as well, 2-1. I think that France will actually score first, but then Denmark will make an amazing comeback and score 2 beautiful goals
like that.
I can't wait to see them win 3 games in a row against France.
Exactly.
What's really interesting is I'm looking at the history of France versus Denmark, and all these games are very close. They're not exceeding 3-goal margins. At all. Most of these games are ending 2-0, 2-1, 1-0, 2. It's very close. So I think that this is going to be a really, really interesting match to watch. And like Seth said, I can't wait to see this dark horse take down.
All day for Denmark, baby. All day.
Can't wait to see the
Don't sleep on them.
champions get taken down.
Exactly. They're done. France is done here. Denmark is going to put the nail in the coffin. They're going to be way too much for this France team. They're not going to know what hit them on all 3 levels, all 3 phases of the game. Denmark wins this. Let's go.
Agreed.
Wow.
Let's go.
That is a very emphatic speech by Seth. Denmark coming through with the win again. That would be very fun and entertaining to see. Now, the last match of this day, going back to Group C, we have Mexico having their turn against the heavy favorites, Argentina. And I know we were talking about the United States against England earlier and how England is going to be a tough one for the U.S. But, man, thank the Lord we aren't in Mexico's shoes. Thank God we don't have to face Argentina until we make it to the World Cup finals. Who said that? Anyways, Argentina versus Mexico. I assume you both have Argentina winning, but what is your score lines?
Well, actually, I think Mexico is going to lose. They're not going to pull the upset. They're going to lose, unfortunately.
Damn right they are.
I wish Mexico would win, but at the same time, I don't. It's really sad because Mexico got put in such a difficult position because I have Argentina going really far in this tournament, and I have, my boys from Poland. So the only person that I can root for Mexico against is Saudi Arabia, because everyone else I want to do well. So instead of going where my heart goes, I'm just going to tell you the facts. And the fact is that Argentina will beat Mexico 2-0 fairly easily. It'll be a close match. For the most part, I think for the second half is going to be a lot more entertaining than the first half. I think the first goals are going to be scored in the first half. The 2 goals are going to be scored in the first half, and then It'll end like that. Second half, nothing is going to happen. The players will play intensely, but Argentina is going to walk away with a fairly simple dub.
This dude, I swear, 2-0 Argentina. Like, come on now. I mean, like, yeah, he's got it right once again. Like, it's just how it is. Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be close. Mexico's gonna put up a big fight. Argentina's, I don't think they're gonna score 4 or 5 goals here. I think it'll be definitely like 2, maybe 3. So I got 2-0 here. But I still think Argentina win this comfortably.
Yeah.
Like they're just so dominant. They look so good right now. It's gonna be tough to stop them in their current form. So Argentina,
I like
2-0.
that.
Fair enough. Alrighty. Moving on. Now we have the 2 matches in Group E and the 2 matches in Group F. Starting up, we have possibly one of my favorite matches to look forward to. We have Japan versus Costa Rica, the 2 underdogs in Group E. And this one's kind of hard for me to pick one to root for. Costa Rica, obviously the CONCACAF brethren. Always got to support the people from our own region. But also Japan is just such a fun team to root for because, you don't really think of Japan as a soccer nation. And when you see them do well, they're just that one team that you want to see succeed. So I'm having trouble picking a team to root for. I'll probably lean towards Japan just because I really like to see them do well. And Costa Rica already had their World Cup success. But I'm curious to see what you guys think of this intriguing matchup.
Yeah.
This is gonna be an interesting one. I actually have Japan taking this game 2-0 here over Costa Rica. As good as Keylor Navas is, as good as that Costa Rican defense is, I think Japan's gonna bring something to Costa Rica that Spain couldn't in the first game, and it's just gonna confuse Costa Rica, and they're gonna struggle to contain this explosive group in Japan. And I think Japan, like they'll get a goal in the first half, goal in the second half. Like I think they'll control the game pretty well, and I think they take care of business comfortably and get a much needed 3 points for their campaign. 2-0 Japan.
I like that a lot. I agree. I think that Japan will control this game. I think that Costa Rica had a valiant run in the World Cup where they topped their group, but just because you did it once doesn't mean you're gonna do it again. You can quote me if they do. That'll be really funny. But I as much as I like Costa Rica, I don't think it'll happen. I think the game is gonna be a lot closer than people think. And because of that, I only have Japan beating Costa Rica by 1. I think it's gonna be a 1-0 win for Japan, and it'll be very close. But with Japan having the clear chances and more chances than Costa Rica for sure.
That will be an interesting one to see how that one turns out. Next up, we have Belgium trying to continue their Golden Generation finale run against Morocco. Guys, does Morocco stand a chance here against this Belgian squad?
No.
No, they do not. No. I think this is where Belgium really kick it into gear here. They're coming off. I think they're gonna beat Canada, like I said, but it's gonna be close and scrappy.
Yep.
But then in this next game against Morocco,
they're gonna shift. We talked about this in the Nations League as well. Is that Belgium is a team that plays so shit one game, and then like a week later they have the most insane performance ever.
Yeah. So, I've got Belgium 3-1 here. I mean, nothing crazy, but I think Belgium do take care of business. They score the necessary goals. They do back-to-back games of 3 goals. So they get 6 points. They start off their campaign pretty well, except this game, like you said, they really kick it into gear. The first game was really scrappy, just escaped a win against Canada. But now this is the Belgium like we've seen, we know.
Right.
They look good. They're in form. Kevin De Bruyne is playing beautiful balls to Lukaku, and they win this game 3-1.
I like that. I'm gonna say the exact same thing with Belgium winning 4-1, but everything else the exact same. I think Belgium might just go on a little rampage against this Moroccan team.
Yeah, I could see it.
That will be an interesting matchup to watch for sure. Now, 2 teams that might need to pick up their slack heading into this matchup. Croatia looking to repeat their run for the 2018 World Cup Finals, and Canada looking to make a name for themselves in their first World Cup in quite some time. Who is going to have the edge in this matchup, ladies and gents?
This is a really interesting matchup.
Yeah.
This is a tough one because I mean you have such an experienced side in Croatia, but again, getting older, so it's tough against such a young, explosive, really talented Canadian side coming off what in my opinion is going to be a very close, tough loss to Belgium. So they're going to be hungry. I think they're going to frustrate Croatia, but I think they're going to share the points here.
I agree.
I've got a 1-1 scoreline between Croatia, Canada.
I like that.
And I just don't really see a team coming out
On
of this
top.
game, on top
Yeah.
here. And I mean, this is just a very weird game for me. So I think I'm gonna go with a draw. And yeah, it's just two completely different sides, and
Right.
like I don't know. It's gonna be a good one. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a good one.
Yeah, no, I really like that as well. I think it's going to be a draw as well, both actually, with the score being 2-2. I think that they're both going to get some good chances in and score those opportunities. And I really want to see it from Canada because their team is so young, and if they can do it against this really experienced Croatian side, it'll be really good news for Canada's future. But yeah, I'm expecting a 2-2 draw. I think these teams are going to be able to get past each other multiple times.
Understandable. Yeah, it will be a game to watch for sure. And this next game will be another one to watch for sure.
This'll be a good
Possibly
one.
the best or the most anticipated game in the group stage. Spain versus Germany. Both previous World Cup winners. Spain in 2010, Germany in 2014. Both massive European powerhouses. I'm handing the floor to you guys. What is going to happen in this one? Will we see a very entertaining matchup with one side taking the points, or will we just end up with a draw?
No, one side is gonna take the points here,
Mhm.
but
I hope we have the same side.
this
Pretty sure we do.
I don't think we do.
Really?
I actually don't think we do.
Who are you supporting here?
I've got Spain here.
All right, yeah, you're just wrong, bro.
I got Spain here, dude. But this is gonna be a highly entertaining game, like very entertaining. This might be the best game of the group stage, and I have got a ridiculous scoreline here.
Oh God.
4-3. 4-3. Spain is going to beat Germany.
Wow.
This is going to be
Rest in peace, defense.
chaos. Defense is out of the question here in this game. I mean, just take a look at both squads here, for instance. I mean, Spain's defense is so young. It's not great. Where it happens for Spain is that midfield and a little bit in the forwards. They're not great, but it really happens in the midfield for Spain. They're gonna create chances. Germany's defense, I'm not too fond of either. I mean, they got Rudiger, like they got a couple guys, like sure, but where's it happen for Germany? In their midfield. I mean, Kimmich, Goretzka, Muller,
And their forwards are a lot stronger than
and their
the
forwards are
Spanish.
definitely a lot stronger than Spain. But and here's why I have Spain coming out on top against Germany. I just think I think this is going to be a masterclass by Spain's midfield. I really do. This is going to put Pedri and Gavi on the map. Like they're already superstars, but this is going to, like, I'm not saying like Iniesta, Xavi level, like not there yet, but like you're looking at these two guys, and I think Pedri's gonna get 2 assists. I think Gavi's gonna get 2 assists.
Wow.
I really do.
Wow.
I just, this is the game that's gonna like revolutionize these two kids, and it's just gonna be a masterclass from the midfield point of Spain, and I think Spain likes possession. And I think they're gonna control the game, and I think they're gonna find the right ways to get Torres, Morata, Sarabia, all of them involved, even if they need to score themselves. I think they're gonna take care of business. But again, it's not gonna be easy. This German team is tough. Sane up top. I mean, you've got Gnabry and Timo Werner, like speedy team up top. So which is why I think they're just going to trade goals. They're going to keep trading and trading. I think Spain is going to get that last blow. And I think this is going to shock people because I know a lot of people have Germany here. I know they do. But I'm telling you, I just have that weird feeling that Spain is going to show something in this game from their midfield. It's going to be a beautiful display. It's going to look like that tiki-taka football that we've seen from Spain in 2010, 2014. It's going to be beautiful to see. But, hey, man, I do not hate the Germany pick either. It was really, really close.
Yeah.
I almost made it a draw this game, but something in me, man, I just see it from Spain. Something beautiful is going to happen in this game for them. So... I mean, and they've looked really good in the Nations League, which is why I think I'm giving them the edge here. And Germany's looked, they've looked okay. They keep drawing a lot. Like they don't really get that final blow against teams. So, hey, like I don't know, man. Like this is gonna be crazy this game. So I got a crazy scoreline, 4-3. I mean, watch it be 0-0, and I just like,
I really
don't
like
know.
that. And at first I wasn't convinced, but the way that you described that made me really, really want to watch that.
Thank you.
Like,
I just had to explain my reasoning.
yeah, no, I'm really hyped up for that game, even though I completely disagree with you.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Thanks for that too.
Yeah, I mean, I personally would love to see a game like that, and I think that would be an amazing game for that to happen. Oh my gosh,
You're good.
my mic's still working.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Sorry. Anyways, I think it's gonna be a really, really important match, especially for that group. And as much as I'd love to see that, seeing this midfield masterclass from the Spaniards, I don't know. I don't have as much faith in these youngsters as you do. And for that, I think that Germany is gonna win 2-0. I think it's not gonna be a high scoring game, even though I wish it was. I think it would be insanely interesting if it was. It would remind me a lot of the Spain-Portugal game. I don't see it happening, unfortunately, because the Spanish team from then is a lot different than the Spanish team now.
For sure.
And I just think Germany's going to take advantage of that. But I mean, hey, I would love to see it go your way.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one game I think is really going to be a scoreline like that.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to predict that
it's
one.
It's funny that you brought up the Spain-Portugal game because that's kind of what it like reminded me of. Like I feel like it's going to be that type of game.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it very well could be.
But we'll see. We'll see. It is new teams here, so.
We will see indeed. What a game that is going to be. And man, what an underwhelming next day in comparison. Holy cow.
Oh no.
Anyways, woo. Cameroon is playing Serbia the next day in the morning. No disrespect to any of these teams, but I'm really questioning whether I want to wake up at 5 a.m. to see that game. But regardless, I will just to see. Got to see the World Cup, all their games. But guys, what's going to happen here? Is Serbia going to continue their unexpected run here and get a dub against Cameroon, or will Cameroon shock the world in this matchup?
Cameroon's not shocking anybody in this World Cup. That's just not happening. I'm sorry. I don't mean to disrespect your guys' team out there, but Serbia's just going to be way too much for this Cameroon side to handle. Serbia's going to bully them, I think. I think Cameroon will... man, this is brutal of me, but I think Serbia is going to win this 3-0. I had 3-1, but I think I'm going to make it 3-0. I actually really don't see Cameroon scoring a single goal in this World Cup. Yeah,
Interesting.
I don't. I think if it were to come, it would be against Serbia. So I'm going to say 3-0, but it could be 3-1 because that is what I originally had. So either or. But I think Serbia just put on a beautiful display against Cameroon. They show why they deserve to be in the knockout rounds. And they just, like I said, they just bully them, get a good 3 goals against them, and win this game comfortably.
I like that. I agree. I do think Serbia is going to take the dub as well. Not by as much. I think it'll still be a very comfortable win with a 2-0 win for Serbia. I just don't think it's going to be a demolishing the way Seth sees it. But I do, like he said, I do think it will be a comfortable win. I don't really see Cameroon giving really any team in this World Cup much of a challenge, especially in their group. So
it was a tough draw for them.
yeah, they got screwed over.
Tough draw.
Very curious to see what happens in
We'll
this
watch
matchup.
Cameroon top the
I
group.
know. Gonna win the whole thing.
But regardless,
God.
holy cow, guys. Next up, another African team going up against
Yep.
an Asian team. South Korea goes up against Ghana. And I don't know about you guys. Does the availability of Heung-min Song matter in this matchup, or will South Korea get the dub either way? What's going to happen?
I mean, it does matter because that's the difference between like a win or a loss. I think that's the difference between a goal or not. So it really does matter. But for me, just looking at the overall like composition of both these teams, it nothing really separates me from either of them. And I think they both understand how important this game is for both of them to get 3 points out of. And because of that, I think they're going to draw. So I've got a 1-1 draw between South Korea and Ghana. I think both teams are going to be left frustrated, thinking they could have come away with 3 points on their own. I think it's going to be one of those games where it's 1-1 and like in the 80th, 85th minute.
Crazy chances.
Like there's going to be so many chances from both ends.
Yeah.
They're
It's
going to
gonna
try
be
and
nonstop back.
yeah,
and
like
forth.
they're gonna try and get that goal because they know they need those 3 points, and it's just not gonna happen. And then they're both gonna be frustrated. So I got 1-1 South Korea Ghana, but yes, the sun availability makes a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I think even with Sun, it'll be a 1-1 draw.
I agree too.
Yeah, like I think both these teams are going to be very evenly matched, and they're each going to have so many chances that they just can't finish. And I really like the way Seth put it because I agree it will be a draw.
There we go. Now, a game that might not be a draw. We will have to wait and find out. But Brazil is going up against Switzerland. Now, does Switzerland stand a chance, or will Brazil continue to demonstrate their raw power and make their case as to why they might be a World Cup favorite?
Yeah, so we talked about this for Switzerland's first game.
Yeah,
They play up to their opponents,
exactly.
right? Those
it's going to be a
bigger
intense
opponents.
match.
It is, and
We will see a great side, a great performance in Switzerland. I'm assuming.
yeah. So I think I actually have this being a really low scoring game though.
Yeah, me too.
So I've got Brazil just winning this 1-0, actually, like 1-0. I think Switzerland's going to put in a really good performance. They're going to have a lot of chances, and it's just not going to happen. And I said this for one of the other games. I can't remember which game it was, but Brazil's going to – it's not going to come until late in the second half. They're going to get the breakthrough goal. I don't know. It's going to be some incredible run by Vinny Jr. or something, and Brazil's just going to squeak out 1-0. But Switzerland's going to be proud of that performance, and they're going to be left frustrated actually because they didn't come away with points when they should have, or even a goal. So yeah, 1-0 Switzerland, but it's going to be close.
Yeah,
It's going to be close.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I want to say 1-0, I don't know why, but my gut is telling me to give it to Switzerland. So I'm going to make it a 1-1 draw. I think that it will be a very, very close game, and it's going to look like Brazil is going to win it. But we're going to get some insane upset the way that they did to France, and they're going to score a goal in one of the dying minutes and tie the game and walk away with a draw that they definitely deserve, though. They definitely deserve, because I think they will play well for the majority of the game. But like Seth said, it will be very close.
Very interesting to see. And yeah, Simone, it's okay. I think your mic is doing pretty decently so far. We'll check it in a bit. But last stage of the second match day, last matchup is Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo's squad, yet again, with possibly their toughest matchup in the group stage. They're facing Uruguay. How do you guys see this one going? Because it could go either way.
Yeah, to represent the GOAT.
You're going to be shocked about this one, actually.
All right, you can leave now.
This
guy calls himself a Cristiano fanboy, and he has Uruguay winning.
Hate to do it. I really hate to do it, but I do have Uruguay winning. Okay. I do. But this is going to be a high scoring game.
Okay.
I got 3-2 Uruguay. I just think that I think this is gonna be a statement game for Uruguay. I think they're gonna outperform Portugal, but Portugal's gonna keep it close. It's gonna be a very attacking game from both sides, and I think Uruguay understand, who they're going up against, the competition they're going up against, and they know they got to make a statement here. And I think they do. I think they get it done. I think, whether it's Nunez or Cavani coming off the bench, one of their strikers coming off the bench, getting them that last minute winning goal. I think they pull it out, but this game could go either way. It's really close. I'm hoping for the GOAT. I'm hoping Cristiano can get them over the top here. But unfortunately, I got Uruguay taking it, and I don't think Portugal are going to get all 9 points from these games.
Okay. I don't think Portugal is going to get all 9 points either, but I do think they're going to get 7 points. I think that this game against Uruguay will be a 2-2 tie. I agree that it's going to be a very attacking game. I think that Uruguay might even have more chances. Like I said before, I'm not confident with Darwin Nunez up there. And, if Suarez gets the ball, I trust him more than Nunez at this point. And I don't
Listen,
think they're going to be able to.
Even if it's not Nunez, I love Valverde. And he has been on a goal scoring tear
That's
for
true.
Real Madrid.
Absolutely.
So even if they put him out on the wing and he gets a goal, why not, right?
That could totally happen. But like I said, I think it'll be a draw. I think Portugal will do just enough to keep themselves in this game without losing a point or without 3 points.
All right, and that's going to do it for match day 2. We now have one series of group stage matches to go. 4 more days that we're going to cover, and 4 more days, 16 more games to predict. And we are going to start off with the first game, Ecuador versus Senegal. Maybe a very underrated game. You don't really see a South American team versus an African team in a stage this big very often. So this one could go either way. What do you guys have for this matchup?
Yeah, it definitely could go either way. This is going to be a really close one, especially if Mane's still not available and not going to play in this one. Again, I think Ecuador is going to frustrate Senegal a lot. Senegal will be able to break through and get a goal, but I think so will Ecuador. And I got a 1-1 draw here. I think they're both gonna share the points here, and they're gonna end their World Cup group stage with a draw, 1-1.
I like that a lot. I think it'll be a very close game as well, but I do see Ecuador coming up on top. I think Ecuador is going to win the game 2-1. I think they're going to get a last-minute goal that's going to seal the deal for them to get that second-place finish and move on further into the group stages, into the round of 16. So, yeah, it'll be a very close game, like you said, but I think that Ecuador is going to be able to see it through all the way.
I like that.
That will be one for the ages. And the last match in Group A is going to be the Netherlands going up against Qatar. Is anyone giving Qatar a chance in this one?
No, absolutely not. Qatar's reign at the World Cup will end here.
They got put in such a difficult.
Their fan base will be left disappointed after the Netherlands thrashed them 4-0 here. Yep. It's just gonna be like a day in the park for the Dutch. I mean, this isn't even gonna be close. Yeah. It's gonna be like the 60th minute, and you're gonna see the Qatarian fans walking out of the stadium in this one. So, 4-0 Dutch.
I'm gonna be a little bolder here and make it 6-0.
Holy.
Yeah, I want to see them get spanked.
All right. Wow. Well, now that that's out of the way, it is worth noting that for this specific match day, for match day 3, for the first 2 match days, there will be one game going on at a time. So like one at 5 a.m., one at 8 a.m., 11, and then 2 p.m. But during the third match day, because, we don't want any collusion going on between clubs or nations or anything, every team in a particular group is going to play at the same time. So all the 2 Group A games will be playing their third match at 10 a.m., and then the 2 Group B games, which we're going to talk about right now, will be going on at 2 o'clock, both of them at the same time. Right. So unfortunately for us viewers, we'll have to pick one to watch instead for watching both at the same time. But regardless, it'll still be entertaining, but it makes for a better World Cup situation because you just never know what's going to happen. Let's talk about the first one. Do you want to say something, Seth?
Yeah, just one quick second. Because now we finished Group A, I just would like to read off my final points
Go for it.
for each team. So in Group A, with that, I've got Netherlands, 9 points. Senegal taking second place with 4 points. Ecuador, third place with 2 points. And Qatar, fourth place with 1 point.
Well, okay. So look, I'm not a nerd. I didn't do the statistic calculations. Sorry. But
Yeah, I'm the nerd. It's okay.
But Seth's list doesn't even make sense because he did all these calculations for it still to be wrong.
How is
Because
this
look,
wrong?
What we have here in Group A, we have Netherlands up top.
How am I wrong?
We have Ecuador coming in second,
Ooh.
knocking Senegal out of the round of 16.
You're going to give Senegal
leaving them
another
in
heartbreaking group stage
You
loss
have
just like 4 years
no
ago?
faith in Senegal without Mane.
Hey
huh?
man, no, I love Senegal, but I gotta give it to Ecuador, man. I mean, they're a strong team. They hang with the big
they
boys.
are. They
hang
are.
with the big boys, and I think Senegal without Mane isn't considered a big boy yet.
Dude, they got some players
They
though.
They do. But Ecuador,
Koulibaly.
hey, bro. What's he done for Chelsea?
Idriss
What's he done for
Gueye.
Chelsea? What's Koulibaly done for Chelsea?
Well, Chelsea's just terrible. So what has Chelsea done for
Yeah,
Koulibaly?
okay.
Nothing.
Okay. We don't disrespect the legends of Chelsea.
Okay. Well. Anyways.
Let's talk about
he's
group.
wrong. He's wrong. Senegal is getting second place.
It's Ecuador.
Let's talk about
And when
Group
it's
B.
over, when this World Cup ends, or at least the group stage A ends, if Ecuador goes through, Seth owes me $100.
Oh,
Wow. That is
I didn't think we were
Mm-hmm.
going there, but regardless,
We are going there.
Group B. Let's just get straight to it. Now, the United Kingdom showdown: Wales versus England. What is going to happen here? Two teams that have not really done well in European play recently, but let's see how they do at the World Cup. Wales against England. This could be an important matchup. What's happening here?
Yeah, they're sharing the points here. They are
Really?
sharing the points here. 2-2. This is going to be a thriller of a game. And in my opinion, Wales is going to do just enough to secure a knockout round spot for themselves by getting that tie with England. Both these Wales goals are going to be by Gareth Bale. 100% going to be by Gareth Bale. Obviously, England's going to keep it competitive and get that draw. But at the end of the day, Wales are going to go through by just getting a narrow draw here against England, 2-2.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a close game as well. I think England is still going to pull ahead, though. I think they're going to get the points that they deserve. Wales is a good team with some very good veterans, but I just don't think that they're going to be ready for that English attack either. The same way that you explained that the U.S. won't be ready for it and will have these insanely good and composed and informed players running at them that are playing for the top clubs of the world. I think it's going to be the same thing for Wales, unfortunately. And it will be a close game. I can agree to that, but I think it'll be a 2-1 win for England. I think they'll be able to just see it through.
There we go. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. Next up is the United States of America playing their final group stage match against Iran. And obviously, in the real world, we are hoping that the U.S. have already secured their spot in the knockout rounds, or hopefully they can control their destiny instead of needing help from one of the other two nations, Wales or England. But the United States, either way, will go up against Iran in the final group stage match at the same time that Wales goes up against England. Do the USA leave the World Cup group stage with a win here?
They do.
They do not.
This guy, I swear to God. Look. All I got to say, USA 1, Iran 0. Look, it's written in the books. USA is going through the group stage. We
I
are
hope so.
making it to the round of 16, and we will beat Iran. Iran is a good team. It'll be an insanely close game, but the USA will pull one ahead towards the end of the game and win it all.
I hope you're right, man. I really
Don't tell
do.
me you have it the opposite. Don't tell me you have Iran winning 1-0.
I've got a 0-0 draw.
Okay.
I've got a 0-0 draw
Okay,
here.
so you see it being close as well. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I've got a 0-0 draw. The USA are going to try and
Mhm.
try and push to get that goal. But I just think they're going to come a little bit short.
Okay.
And because Iran's a tough team, guys.
They
They're in
are,
the
yeah,
top
yeah.
20 for a reason. People are doubting them in this group against the 3 English teams here. And I think Iran also understands the position they're in based on my score predictions. They have a chance to go through, but it's going to be frustrating for both sides, and it's going to end 0-0. And because of that, it's going to knock the USA out of the World Cup. But again, I really, really hope I'm wrong. I think in 2026, the USA are going to be really, really good. Right now, though, it's just too inexperienced for me, and they have been struggling as of late, and I don't know. It's just tough for me. So my final Group B rankings, I've got England on top with 7 points. I've got Wales in second place with 4 points by goal differential. Iran in third place with 4 points. And USA in fourth with 1 point.
I think you're not giving us Americans enough credit, unfortunately.
I don't think I am. And I like I said, I really want to be proven wrong. I'm scared. I'm nervous. It's a tough group. This is not easy.
Yeah.
So
Well, like I said before, I'm not a nerd, but I have England topping the group as well. In fourth place, I have Iran. In third place, I have Wales. And in second place, going to the round of 16, I have the United States of America. And that is a fact. That is a guarantee. I do not do maybes. I do ifs. No, I don't.
Wait, what?
I messed up. the-
Oh, no.
Yo.
That is embarrassing, Simone.
I do absolutes. That's what I do. Absolutes.
Okay. Well,
Not if, buts, or maybes. Absolutes.
I'm going to bring it back to me for a second so Simone can recollect his thoughts. Very interesting perspectives and opinions on the United States men's national team and their projected performance at the World
Prove me
Cup.
wrong, guys. Let's go.
We shall see, and we will be rooting for the United States of America to do
All
well.
day.
One team that we will be rooting against, however, will be France on their final match day against Tunisia. We need this World Cup curse to go to follow suit. And will Tunisia be the latest team to upset the previous World Cup winners?
100% they will be, without a doubt. Tunisia is going to make the biggest upset in the World Cup against France on the final match day. 1-0 Tunisia. It's happening. Be ready for it. The World Cup curse is real. It will never end. I'm telling you right now. France is not getting out of the group stage. It's just how the World Cup curse goes. I'm a full believer of it. It's been going on since just forever, for like the last 20 years. So I think this is going to be the biggest upset in the whole tournament right here. This game right here. Tunisia pulls it out. It's 0-0 the whole game. France has like 80% possession. They have like 20 shots on goal. They can't do it. And then here comes Tunisia in the 88th minute, trotting up the field, floating across, header, goal. Tunisia win the game. Like, it's just written. It's written already. It's written in the curse for France. So Tunisia win this game 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, I really believe in the World Cup curse as well. I mean, we've seen it for the last few World Cups in a row. But the thing is that it doesn't always happen. There's been instances in history in years before where teams have won World Cups back to back, or at least qualified to the round of 16 back to back.
Not in the 2000s, though.
Not in the 2000s. That is true. But we are in a new decade now, brother. We are not in the 2000s or the 2010s. We are in the 2020s now. This is a brand new decade of World Cup games. And I think that as much as I want to see France lose, it'll be a tie. I think it'll be a 1-1 tie against Iran.
You mean
And
Tunisia?
I mean, sorry, Tunisia. Yes.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. I was looking at the Iran USA game. Yes, against Tunisia. It'll be a 1-1 draw between these two
Okay.
teams. I think you're right.
All
I
right, I'm
think
just
that-
glad you don't have France winning.
Yeah,
I'll
no.
take that.
I think that France will 100% dominate the game, and
Mhm.
I see them struggling and getting so frustrated because they can't
Yep.
score their chances, and it'll be really, really enjoyable to see Mbappe and all these stars fail because
will be.
they're so good, and just seeing these players that are so good and cocky fail is one of the most pleasing things in the world, and I can't wait to watch this match.
Alrighty. Well, now that we know how you both feel about France, I'm kind of scared to figure out how you both feel about Australia going up against Denmark. I don't think I actually need to question that. Knowing Seth, we know I'd be surprised if he picked anything less than a 2-goal margin win for Denmark.
Yeah, no, it's a 3-1 win for Denmark. I'll give Australia something. Because I think Denmark's just gonna rest players here because they've already secured their spot. So I think Australia is just gonna, they'll get 1 goal, sure, whatever. But Denmark's got this 3-1 easy, and yeah, nothing else to say about that.
This is going to be a 10-0 game. Denmark is going to beat Australia 10-0. Australia sucks ass. They're such a bad team. Denmark wins 100%.
Love it. I love that.
Okay.
All right, so for my Group D rankings now, that ends me with Denmark topping the group with all 9 points. Tunisia finished the group in second with 6 points.
That's the ideal.
France, third place with 3 points. And lovely Australia, fourth place with a fat goose egg, 0 points.
That's perfectly how
You said
Simone
that
would like it.
beautifully. And that is the perfect way that Group D would end. I hope it does. But unfortunately, I have a different approach. I think that France will be the team, unfortunately, to break their curse and beat Tunisia by goal differential. And I think that it'll be Denmark, France, Tunisia, and Australia, with Denmark topping their group with ease, and then France barely slithering to that second place position, breaking the curse, but just barely, barely. But I don't
Simone,
get me
would you
wrong.
mind? Would you mind if I asked what will Australia's goal differential be at the end of this one?
-33.
Oh.
They're bad. They're gonna lose each game by 11 goals.
Okay, I just
They're
want
a shit team.
I just wanted to
Yep.
I just wanted to confirm that.
I like Australians. I don't like the Australian soccer team. If you're Australian, good day, mate. But no, I don't like.
Is that racist? Bro, this kid today has been on something else. Oh
Hey.
my god.
Hey, it's its first day in the studio. Let him have it. He's enjoying
Jeez,
it.
come on,
man.
come
All
on.
right,
It's,
all
it's
right.
respectful.
All right.
That's how they speak.
All right. Well, Simone, we're gonna let you have this one. This will be your one game that you will get to root for Mexico as they go up against Saudi Arabia. The other games, we're not allowing it. You're rooting for Poland.
Yep.
But Mexico, I mean, they just can't lose, right? They can't lose to Saudi Arabia.
I hope. I think this will be a game where Mexico really shows that they're not as bad as they've been playing in recent time. I think they're going to have very good form in this game. All of the Mexican games that I've seen recently have been very disappointing. Like they've been very disappointing results and performances from multiple players. And I think that this game against Saudi Arabia, I mean, they know how important this is in the World Cup. And I feel like with their fans, I think that Mexico has one of the greatest fan bases ever. I think a very dangerous fan base as well at times, but also a very amazing fan base aside from all that stuff. And I think that just like that Mexican belief that they can always do it. It doesn't matter what the chances are, what the probability is that they can just do it. And I feel like Mexico is really going to pop off this game and end the World Cup group stages with a very, very impressive win against Saudi Arabia 3-1. I think they're going to get finally going to get over 2 goals in a game. So I'm really rooting for them with this one.
I like that. Yeah, I've got Mexico 2-1 in this game, so pretty close there. I think Mexico is gonna crumble at the end, though. So this is how I think it's gonna happen. It's gonna come down to goal differential between Poland and Mexico for that second spot, and I think Mexico are gonna start out really strong, up 2-0. They
Give it
have the
away.
goal differential in sight,
Right.
and then at the very end, they just lose focus, concentration, and they let Saudi Arabia get a goal, which puts Poland ahead of them. And they still win the game, but it's just not enough
to go through.
And they just crumble at the end, and it's gonna suck, but it's what I see happening. So quickly for Group C, Argentina 9 points in first place. Second place, I got Poland with 4 points.
I don't think we did the Poland Argentina game yet.
Oh, we didn't.
We did not talk about
that's a
Poland
good-
versus Argentina, buddy.
That's a good one. Well, I've got Argentina winning that game 2-0.
Okay. Yeah, we can just get right into it.
I think.
I agree with that actually.
Yeah, I think
2-0 as well.
I think Argentina are gonna sweep this whole group.
Oh,
I think.
no one has belief in the Polacks here.
I want them to do well, but
I
hey,
do.
they'll go through. But
I
just
do-
not against Argentina.
Yeah,
That's fair, that's fair.
Argentina's gonna sweep this group
Yeah.
with ease. They're gonna win every game comfortably, no doubt in my mind. So yeah, like I was saying, Argentina 9 points in first, Poland second place 4 points by just a little bit of goal differential. Mexico third place with 4 points. I'm sorry, Saudi Arabia 0 points, fourth place.
This is the first group prediction that Seth gets right. I have the exact same thing written
Oh,
down,
man.
and I think that it will be a
We'll
very.
see about that, buddy.
Amen.
All right.
Who's top of fantasy right now?
Okay.
Anyways,
All
by
right.
100 points. Anyways,
For now,
um,
just wait.
anyways, yeah, just going back to the games really quickly. I agree with the Argentina thing. I think that Poland might maybe score 1 goal, but they're not going to be able to do enough damage to Argentina. And I wanted to go back to what Seth said about Mexico, like losing focus. That sounded really realistic. Like when he said that, I could completely envision that because I feel like that's happened in Mexico in so many World Cups
know.
where they're literally right there. And it's not always their fault. It's not always them losing focus, but it's always something that happens that ends up, like switching the tides and they're just out of the competition. Like that game against the Netherlands.
Oh,
all
God,
those
in
years ago.
2014?
Yeah, like I feel like
Oof.
something always happens
Oof.
to Mexico where they play so well. And then something happens, like either they lose
Right.
focus or like just the moon realigns itself and like the freaking constellations chain at everything, and yeah, it's just poor Mexico.
Well, that was
agree.
that was
I agree.
that was something that I would not have thought to put it in those terms, but Simone doing it out here. Anyways, now we are going to talk about groups E and F. Some fun groups, guys. Will Canada get their revenge? Not their revenge, but will Canada start to bounce back? Will they give themselves a chance to maybe move on against Morocco here in this matchup?
I actually don't think so. I've actually got Morocco taking this last game 1-0 over
Wow.
Canada. I think Canada is just kind of, for me, is on a very similar path like the U.S. I just think both teams are very inexperienced, very young. It's going to catch up with them. And I think Morocco is going to break through in this game after a couple of very tight games. I think they're going to come through, get a narrow win against Canada. And at this point, both teams would be out for me in the World Cup.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's not going to be any high scoring affair. I don't think so.
Mhm.
I think Morocco takes this and they win this 1-0.
I think it'll be a close game as well, but I think it'll be a tie 1-1. But it won't do anything for either of them because I
Yeah.
feel like Croatia and Belgium will have run away with it at that point.
Now, speaking of Croatia and Belgium, this one could be interesting. It could mean whether or not two teams are perfectly in advancing to the next round and could determine seeding for both of those
Right.
teams, or it could spell a must win for one of these teams. What are your guys' predictions on how this game will go?
Yeah, so just like I was talking about Mexico crumbling, I got Belgium crumbling here as well. So I've got Croatia winning the final game here 2-1, topping the group over
Wow.
Belgium.
Okay.
I know the old guys in Croatia. I think they're gonna do it. I think this is gonna be a really good game because these are probably two of the most experienced teams at the World Cup.
Yeah.
So like you got experience
Oldest
versus
squad.
experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
very old squads, very very wise. They know what they're doing. But I think Belgium's just gonna collapse a little. I think we talked about them, finding their groove in that Morocco game. But I think Croatia is going to bring them down to earth just a little bit. I think Belgium's going to put in a really good performance, though. Like, this isn't going to be a scrappy game at all. Like, this is going to be a top-tier performance by both teams. But I love Luka Modric. I love this Croatian team, and I think they're going to work their magic like they did in 2018 to get to the finals. I think they're going to work their magic in this game, do enough just to squeak the win over Belgium and top the group. But both teams will still advance. So 2-1 Croatia.
Yeah. I think it's actually going to be a draw. I think they're going to have the exact same score. They're going to win 2 games and then draw against each other. So that's going to leave them both tied, and I think that Belgium is actually going to advance on goal differential. I think it'll be a 1-1 tie in this game against between Belgium and Croatia. I think they're going to be very evenly matched, like Seth said. They're both veterans of the game with extremely wise and good players in each position. And I just don't think they're going to be able to break each other, which is why they're going to end up in a 1-1 draw. And then with Belgium's goal differential being a little bit higher, they'll just pass Croatia, but Croatia will come in right in second place.
And I respect that too. It was neck and neck for me. So
Yeah.
either way, I could see it going.
Right.
So yeah, for me, for Group F, that ends it with Croatia coming out on top, first place with 7 points.
Mhm.
Belgium, second place with 6 points.
Right.
Morocco, third place with 3 points. And unfortunately, Canada, fourth place with 1 point.
Right. Well, unlike Seth, I'm not a nerd. So
This kid's going to say this every time I read my little points table.
I actually believe in Canada a little bit more. So I have Belgium in first, like we all know, Croatia in second, Canada in third, and then Morocco in fourth, unfortunately.
I respect it.
Understandable. This will be a very interesting group, and it will be fun to see what happens, how all unfolds, and whether or not either of you guys will be right by the end of it. This next group, however, just might be everybody's favorite, the one with the most anticipation. It's got Germany, it's got Spain, Japan, and Costa Rica. Let's talk about the match day 3 for Group E. Costa Rica going up against Germany. Now, this on paper seems like a Germany destruction of Costa Rica, but can Costa Rica hang in there?
I think they'll hang in there, but Germany's going to get the job done.
Yep.
But Germany's going to be a lot frustrated.
It's going to be way closer than it's not going to. Germany's going to win it comfortably. I feel like with one. I only think Germany's going to win 1-0 in this game.
I have the exact same scoreline: 1-0 Germany. Yeah,
Germany will completely dominate the game for the most part. I would say like 60, maybe 65% possession.
yeah.
But I just don't think they're going to be able to finish their chances, and they're not going to be able. They're going to be able to sneak one goal in past the Costa Rican team, but no more than that.
I agree. Yeah, it's going to be a frustrating day for Germany, but I agree. They'll get that one goal that they need to advance in this group.
Yep.
And yeah, Germany.
Okay. Makes a lot of sense to me. Now, the next one could be even more entertaining. Japan.
Ooh.
All the games that involve Japan just seem to be entertaining, but
Yeah.
Japan
They are.
is
They really
going
are.
up against Spain. Now, Seth talked a high game of Spain last time when they were going up against Germany. Will they bring that same heat to the table against Japan, or will Japan have something to say about it and maybe make their mark as a team to potentially upset one of those teams?
For me, I still have Spain taking this game. Actually, I think Spain's going to keep that same energy. I just really like Spain in this World Cup. I know they missed out on bringing, some couple of really good players, veteran leaders, but I just still love the talent, and I just love the ability that this Spain team and the depth they have to be able to control games, have possession, create chances. I just love Spain's football. I love to watch it. It's very nice. But Japan, man, they are going to bring a fight. They always do in every game. I think they're going to just fall short. I got Spain 2-1 here. It's going to be very, very close. They're going to frustrate Spain all day long. But in the end, I think Spain's composure, their tactics, their ability on the ball, their precision, it's just going to be they're going to outclass Japan a little bit. Not by much, but by a little bit. And I think that's going to allow Spain to win this game and top the group, in my opinion. Unfortunately, sending Japan out once again. As much as I would love to see them in the knockout rounds, I just think they're going to fall just short again. And it's going to be very heartbreaking as they get put in a group with two juggernauts. It's tough.
Here, wait, let me hand this to you real quick. It's an L, because that's an L take. So if you want to know what's actually going to happen, if you want to know what's actually going to happen, then listen to me here. Listen. Japan will win this game 3-2 against Spain, and it's going to be the exact same way Seth envisioned the Germany-Spain going, but now it's going to be the Spain-Japan game that's that way. It's going to be a very, very close game with 2-2. It's going to be 2-2 towards the very end, and then Japan is going to make that clutch goal at the very end and go through. I think the Spanish team is very strong as well, but I've seen what Japan can do. We've all seen it, and yeah, did they choke against Belgium last World Cup? Yes. But could they have won that? Yes. So I feel like Japan's team this year it's going to do something incredible, and they're going to make a nice run in this World Cup.
I respect it.
So what are your final standings for your group?
Yeah, so I got for Group E, I've got Spain finishing first place with 7 points, Germany second place with 6 points, Japan just falling short, 3 points in third. If they won that game, could have gone through, and Costa Rica in fourth place with 1 point.
Right.
So I do have the two juggernauts, Spain and Germany, going through. Yeah. I just think their squads are too much here. They got a lot of depth, a lot of good quality.
Yeah, we have very similar list for this one. I have Germany up top as well, but Japan is in second, Spain is in third, and Costa Rica is in last. And I hate to do it to Costa Rica because they are such an underdog team that everyone can support. We love them, but I just don't think they're going to do it. But yeah, I see Japan getting that second place, so it'll be fantastic.
Fair enough. Solid Group E standings. So it'll be curious. It'll be interesting to see which one of you guys have the closer predictions, or maybe one of you will get it exactly on the dot. But with 1 day to go in match day 3, 2 more groups to finalize. Let's talk about them now. The first one, we're going to actually go to Group H because they will be playing first on Friday, December 2nd. And the first matchup, at least for me here, is South Korea going up against Portugal. Will Portugal defeat South Korea regardless of whether Heung-min Song is on their squad, or will Portugal maybe struggle a little bit against this unexpected Asian squad?
I think Portugal is going to struggle a little bit, but they'll find a way. I got them winning 1-0. Really nothing crazy. Like I said, yeah, they will struggle. They'll do just enough, in my opinion, to top the group, actually. But again, assuming this squad does have Son back at this point and he plays, and, you know, the South Korea team is going to be hungry at the end here, and they're going to want to make a statement as they know they'll be exiting the World Cup. So yeah, I think Portugal will struggle, but they'll find a way. They'll get it done, whether it's a goal or two, but I got it 1-0 Portugal.
Yeah. I think even with Son on the team, it will make a difference, and I agree with that scoreline, a 1-0 win for Portugal. Fairly close game. Portugal dominating the shots, having way more shots, and just barely being able to get one through. Similar to the game with Costa Rica, Germany, with just a very, dominant side, but they're just not able to finish their chances, except for that one time they do slip it past.
All right, and next up is Uruguay going up against Ghana. Oh, boy. A very tough Uruguay squad. Will they not let up and let Ghana feel that heat?
Yeah, so this is actually one of my big upset games here.
Ghana revenge?
It's Ghana revenge time, baby.
My.
We all remember 2010 FIFA World Cup, Ghana versus Uruguay. Luis Suarez handball, which was going in, but handball, he got a red card. He got sent off. Ghana gets a penalty kick.
It's the crossbar.
And it hits the freaking crossbar. And Uruguay wins the game. Oh, it was brutal. Knocking Ghana out of the World Cup. Ghana gets their revenge. Ghana gets their revenge. Ghana wins this game 2-1. They shock the world. They shock Uruguay. Uruguay will not expect this whatsoever from this Ghana team. Ghana's going to come out firing on all cylinders. Like they remember. They all remember.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's not the same players, the nation remembers.
Absolutely.
And because of that, Ghana win, it allows Portugal to actually top the group, even though Uruguay will beat Portugal themselves. So I got Ghana pulling the upset 2-1.
I respect it. I have it being a 1-1 draw. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think that Ghana is going to play harder in this game than they played in any other game in the group stage. And they're going to fight really hard to beat this Uruguayan team. And I feel like if it was the round of 16 and they were to go to extra time, Ghana would beat them. But I think the game just isn't going to be long enough. I feel like Uruguay is going to start off really strong, maybe get the first goal. But then Ghana is going to come back really strong and tie the game. And they're just going to be so close to finishing that second chance and just not be able to. But if the game was a few minutes longer, they would get it. But because the game being 90 minutes, they're not going to be able to. It'll be a draw, but it'll be a very, very close game, and I can't wait to watch that.
Yes.
Yeah, that is going to be a game for the ages because of its history. A game that might not be for the ages, however, is Brazil against Cameroon. Will Brazil just keep its dominant streak going and hand Cameroon a convincing loss, or will Cameroon find a way to keep it close?
Before we get into that one, do you want to go ahead and tell us your Group H standings?
Yes. Group H standings here. So I've got Portugal topping the group at 6 points by goal differential. I've got Uruguay second place with 6 points as well. Like I said, Portugal wins by goal differential. Ghana third place with 4 points, just shy. Fortunately, South Korea will finish fourth place with only 1 point.
Okay. I respect it. I have Portugal and Uruguay up top as well. I didn't do the calculations though. We all know why. And then I have
I'm the
Korea,
nerd. I know.
South Korea in third with Ghana in fourth, unfortunately.
Fair enough. All right.
So
Let's
you
get
were,
back to the
so you were
question.
mentioning Cameroon, Brazil. Is that
I
correct?
was.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. 4-0 Brazil.
Yeah, I have that as well.
This is gonna be a thrashing.
Yeah.
This is gonna be like a warm up game for Brazil, a tune up game for their round of 16 matchup, for whoever they play. So, yeah, comfortable 4-0 win for Brazil.
I can't disagree with that one.
Okay. Well, let's just move straight on to maybe the more interesting matchup, the last matchup of the entire group stage, Serbia taking on Switzerland.
You know,
two teams that might be on the brink of advancing to the round of 16. What's going to happen here?
You know, this is actually this is the game to watch. Actually,
it's a really, really important game in this.
like people are gonna be sleeping on this game, and I think we're getting a lot of goals in this game.
Really,
I got 6 goals in this game coming here.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a high scoring affair here. Both teams are going to be firing in all phases of the game here. And because both teams are fighting for that second place spot behind Brazil, and they're going to just put it all out on the line. But unfortunately, I think Serbia is the stronger team here.
Wow.
And I've got Serbia winning this 4-2. A big scoreline here. I think it stays really close. And then towards the end, I think just the toughness and just the brutality of Serbia just kind of takes over at the end. They get a couple of late goals to really pull away from Switzerland and knock them out of the World Cup, and Serbia go through.
I like that. I would love to see a high scoring game. I mean, no matter who it is, I'd love to watch those high scoring games. And I think that what Seth said is right to an extent. I think that it's going to be an insanely close battle, but instead of it being a super high scoring game, I think it's going to be an extremely low scoring game. I think it's going to end 1-0 with Switzerland coming up on top. I think they're going to get one goal through, and everything else, like, they'll be insane saves, insane misses, but it's gonna be one goal. I think it's gonna like we have a similar like vision of this game, but I think Seth just sees all these chances going in while I only see one going in. And that's what's gonna determine it. And it'll be really interesting to watch either way.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of these like second, third place games, I've had some of them low score, some of them high score.
Yeah.
So trying to keep a balance here, and I just think this is gonna be a battle, and these two attacks are gonna go at each other's throats here, as they know they need to take care of business. So that ends my Group G standings here with Brazil with 9 points in first place. Second place, Serbia with 6 points. Third place, Switzerland with 3 points. And Cameroon. Fourth place with 0 points.
And I have almost exactly the same list, but just with Switzerland and Serbia, with Brazil up top, Switzerland second, Serbia third, and like Seth said, Cameroon in last.
Alrighty, guys. That is going to do it for match day 3, and that's going to do it for the group stage. How about that? We made it through all group stage predictions. Be very curious to see who's right and who is wrong. Now it is time for Seth and Simon to present to you guys their round of 16 and who they think are going to advance further into the tournament. I say we start with our debut person in the studio for the first time, Simone in person. And who you got in your round of 16 and who is moving on to the quarterfinals?
So my very first game is going to be a very intense one between the Netherlands and the United States of America.
USA.
I think that the U.S. has they'll have made a very valiant fight to get out of the group stage, and I think that they just got the unluck of the draw. They got placed against an absolute powerhouse, and I don't think they're going to be able to win it. I think they're going to lose this game 3-0. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be close. I think they'll fought hard in the group stage, but it won't be anything compared to what they're going to face against this Netherlands team.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. That's good. I have Netherlands versus Wales as my first round of 16 matchup. These teams have actually played each other twice recently in the UEFA Nations League, with Netherlands winning, I believe it was 2-1 and then 3-2. So pretty close games here.
Yeah.
I actually have a same scoreline once again. Netherlands coming out on top for the third time, 3-2. I think.
Ooh, close game.
Very close. I think Wales is gonna do everything they can. Gareth Bale knows this is his last time. Who knows when Wales will be back in the World Cup again?
Another 60 years.
Yeah, for real. Like you just don't know. Like so, Wales is gonna do everything they can, but they're just gonna be outdone by this tough Dutch team. Netherlands win it 3-2, go to the quarterfinals.
Agreed. Okay, so we both have Netherlands there. My next game is going to be between Argentina and France, which is going to be an insane match if that happens. You're going to realize soon that I have a theme of revenge in this list. And I think that Argentina is going to get their well-deserved revenge against France. I think they're going to beat them 4-2. I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. And I think that Argentina is going to be so furious about how the game ended last World Cup that they're going to give it their all. And I think that France will, because Argentina is attacking so much, I think that Mbappe or another fast player will get a breakaway or two where they will score 1 or 2 goals. But I think the Argentina's offense is just going to be so aggressive and so intense that they're going to be able to score more than 4 goals on them. So I think it'll be a 4-2 win for Argentina here.
I like that. Yeah. So because I did not have France coming out of the group,
Right.
I've got Argentina versus Tunisia for my round of 16 game.
That's fair.
Oh,
That's fair.
So, unfortunately, Tunisia probably got the worst draw they could have if they finished second in this group. It's going to be a great run for Tunisia, but it comes to an end here in the round of 16, unfortunately. It's going to be a little bit of a thrashing here. I got 4-0 Argentina. It's the game Argentina needs to really go all the way and win this thing. So I think that Tunisia's they're gonna try, of course. They're gonna do what they can, but just completely overwhelmed and outclassed by this Argentina team. 4-0.
Nice. I like that. All right, for my next one, I have another very, very big one, and that's going to be Germany versus Croatia. These games are going to be amazing, and I can't wait to watch them, especially if it happens this way. But I think that it's going to be a very, very intense game. I think that Germany is going to start off scoring 1-0, and then I think Croatia is going to tie the game in the dying minutes, leading them to extra time, where they go into penalties, where Germany wins. Oh, shit.
Oh wow. Wow, that was my hand just like spazzed out and okay.
Oh, man.
Sorry about that.
All good, all good. Where I think that Germany is going to win in penalties 4-3. I think that Germany will start off by missing their first penalty, but then make every single one after that. Well, Croatia will miss their last two. I think they're going to choke it, unfortunately, and get knocked out in that penalty shootout. So Germany is going through to the quarterfinals for me.
I like that. It's funny because I have that same game,
Ooh.
but it's later on in the bracket because Croatia was my 1 seed,
right,
Germany was my 2 seed, while they were flipped for you. So I will get to that game later for me, but my next game on my list would actually be a crazy game as well. Spain versus Belgium.
Ooh.
Spain versus Belgium in the round of 16. This is going to be interesting, but I am still riding high with Spain.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got Spain just inching it out 2-1 here, ending Belgium's golden generation as Belgium crumble once again, and they're not going to be able to do it here. So I've got Belgium going out early. I think they struggle a bit in this game, and I think Spain's class just shines through here, and they get a strong 2-1 win here against Belgium, going to the quarterfinals.
I like that. I like that a lot. My next game is going to be heartbreaking for the South American fans because I have Brazil against Uruguay, and this one really sucks because there aren't that many South American teams in, so you would really want these teams to be playing European teams or teams from different continents. But unfortunately, they got stuck playing against each other. And with that being the case, I think that Brazil will be going up on top. I think that it'll be a very close game. I think it'll be 0-0 for a very long time, and then until both of the teams score once, and then they go into overtime and Brazil scores the second goal, winning the game 2-1 against Uruguay and going through to the quarterfinals.
I like that. I've got the same game next, Brazil versus Uruguay. Pretty much a very similar scoreline. I've got 2-0 Brazil. It's a good run for Uruguay, but Brazil just show why they're the most dominant team in South America and possibly the world, and they make their mark on this game and win in convincing fashion, 2-0 Brazil.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I think Brazil is definitely going to be taking that dub. So just to reiterate right now, in my quarterfinals, I have Netherlands versus Argentina and Germany versus Brazil. But for the next game in the round of 16, I have England versus Ecuador. And I feel really bad because I'm just eliminating South American teams left and right here. And I think that Ecuador will have made a valiant run, but England will get the better of them. I think that Ecuador will actually take the lead, being 1-0. And then England will tie the game in the dying minutes, leading them to penalties, where England will win in penalties 5-4. Heartbreak for Ecuador.
Wow. I like that. I like that. That's kind of similar to what I got here. And just to reiterate, my quarterfinal matchups, I have Netherlands versus Argentina and Spain versus Brazil right now.
So pretty similar.
Yeah. So for my next one, my next round of 16 game, I have England versus Senegal.
Oh.
So this will be a very interesting one. And this is where my Cinderella story kicks in. Because for me, This is where Sadio Mane makes his comeback in this game. He plays in this game, and he breaks the hearts of all English fans.
Wow.
The score ends 1-1. They go into penalty kicks. And England, just like in the Euros, have another heartbreak in penalty kicks where Senegal wins in PKs. I didn't write down an exact PK scoreline, but I just think Senegal is going to win in penalty kicks with Sadio Mane scoring the winning PK to send Senegal to the quarterfinals.
Who do you have missing the penalty for England?
Do I want to say Bukayo Saka again? I don't know. No, I can't say that. I would feel terrible. If I had to pick one person to miss that penalty for England, I might be that guy and say like Jack Grealish. Like I don't know. Like I feel like Jack Grealish would just like I could see like I feel like Maguire would bury his for some reason.
Yeah,
he actually takes really
he has
good
insane penalties.
Like if Luke Shaw took one, he'd make it. If Harry Kane took one, he'd make it.
Right.
I think it'd be like one of the wingers, like Saka, Grealish, Phil Foden even.
Yeah,
if one of their wingers take it, I don't know. I really don't know who I'd have miss it. Maybe even James Madison if he comes in. Who knows?
Could be anyone.
But yeah, I got Senegal.
I like
winning it in penalty kicks, going to the quarterfinals.
I respect that.
Knocking England out of there.
All right. My next match is between Denmark and Poland. And I'm sorry, boys. I wish Poland could go further here. Wow. But you got the dark horses coming in, and they are going to make a mark on you guys. Going to stamp your asses.
Okay, well.
Unfortunately, they're going to be beating you guys. As much as I want this game to go into overtime, I don't think it will. I think it'll be a 2-0 win for Denmark. I think that it'll be a very close game with Denmark only above by 1 and Poland getting a few decent chances to tie the game, but I just don't think we'll get that finishing touch from Poland, and then they'll score one extra one in the dying minutes and win that game 2-0.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have, Denmark-Poland, but I have 3-1 Denmark, so pretty same two
goal differential.
Yeah. Denmark will make their mark in this game. Unfortunately for my boys, they run out of gas here in the round of 16. My dark horse Denmark, like I said, going to make a very far run in this World Cup, and it's not going to stop at the hands of Poland. Yeah. So Denmark take this pretty easily, 3-1.
Well, I'm really excited for my next one because it is Belgium versus Japan. And like I said earlier, here comes a theme of revenge, baby. We have Japan beating Belgium, but not in the same way. You know, it's too easy to say that Japan is going to make the comeback against Belgium. I think the game is going to be 0-0 the entire way through. They're not going to be able to score against each other. And then in the overtime, they're each going to score one goal against each other. I think Belgium is going to score the first one in like the 95th and start celebrating like they won the entire World Cup. And then in the dying minutes of extra time, Japan is going to score that equalizer and then beat Belgium in penalties 5-3. I think Belgium is going to miss 2-1s at the end.
Wow.
Yep. That was very descriptive.
I like that.
Yep.
I
want Japan to kick their ass.
Wow. Japan making a run. I love it. I love that. So for me, my next one is Croatia versus Germany here.
Right.
Just on the different side of the bracket. This one I actually have going to extra time, but not penalty kicks, just extra time. I've got it ending 1-1 in regulation. And Croatia breaking Germany's hearts and winning it 2-1 in extra time with a sublime strike from Luka Modric.
I don't know this guy. This guy's predictable.
Listen, man, you gotta ride the superstars, man.
He is.
You gotta ride the superstars.
He is an amazing player.
So,
I do not disagree.
yeah, I think this is gonna be a very physical bout here. It's gonna be a good game all the way till the end. But in extra time, the old men, they find an extra gear and they get that goal and win 2-1. Croatia continue their World Cup glory and advance to the quarterfinals.
I like that. All right. For my last game in the round of 16, I have Portugal versus Switzerland. And this is going to be a very, very intense game, in my opinion. I think it's going to go very similarly to the France-Switzerland game. I think that Portugal is going to take an early lead and score 2 goals. And then in the second half, Switzerland is going to tie them and score another 2. And then in overtime, I think Portugal is just going to seal the deal, get that 1 extra goal and beat Switzerland 3-2 and go into the quarterfinals.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, so I've got Portugal versus Serbia.
Right.
This is a revenge game for Portugal after not qualifying for the World Cup without having to go through the playoffs.
Right. Where luckily they only had to play North Macedonia.
Yeah, it would have been interesting if they had to play Italy.
Oh,
so
man.
luckily they got away with that. But they're here, and they're here for revenge on Serbia. And you remember how I said Serbia was going to beat Switzerland 4-2 to make it? Well, now Portugal is going to beat Serbia 4-2.
Okay.
It's Portugal is going to be ready. They're going to be aggressive. They are not going to be stopped on their attacks, counterattacks. They're going all in here against Serbia. But Serbia is still a very strong side. So they're going to put up a fight. And I think it's going to be 2-2 for a while. But past that 70th minute, I think that's when the depth matters. And players are going to get really tired. But Portugal has some serious depth. So they can bring in the likes of Joao Felix off the bench, Rafael Leao, whoever, like off the bench. Some superstars they have will make the difference, get another couple of goals, secure the win. 4-2. Portugal go to the quarterfinals.
I like that a lot.
All right, guys. That was a crazy round of 16. So, would you guys mind sharing what your round of 8s look like, your quarterfinals, and who will be your semifinalists for each of you? What will be the comparisons? What will be the similarities? And what will be the differences? We're all curious to see.
All right, I'll start this off. And for my first quarterfinal game, I have Portugal versus Japan. Remember, Portugal beat Switzerland and Japan beat Belgium. My next one, I have Denmark versus England. In my third quarterfinal game, I have Netherlands versus Argentina. And in my last quarterfinal game, I have Germany versus Brazil, the revenge. All right. Go ahead, bro.
In my quarterfinal games, I have Argentina versus Netherlands.
Right. Okay. Similar.
I have Brazil versus Spain.
Almost the same.
I have the dark horse matchup of them all, Denmark versus Senegal.
That'll be a really, really fun one.
And then a very interesting one, Croatia versus Portugal.
I like that. All right. Well, to start off our very first quarterfinal match, let's do the one that we both have in common, which is Netherlands versus Argentina.
This is gonna be
a
dude.
battle.
I'm so excited.
This is gonna be.
If this happens, I'm so excited.
I know. This is. I think that Argentina is gonna find the Netherlands to be a lot harder than France was.
I agree with that. Yeah.
The thing is, Netherlands has such a big school. Like, their players are bulky, they're strong, they're agile, they're
tough,
fast. They're
tough team.
exactly. I think it's going to be a really, really tough game. I think that the Netherlands is actually going to go up first. I think they're going to score on them first, and I think that Argentina is going to be able to tie it. And I think that after that, it's going to be pretty even for the most part until they both score on each other again. And in the dying minutes, I see Argentina winning it 3-2 without even going to extra time. A valiant fight from Argentina, because we see that. The reason I say that is because we see that from Argentina in so many games where they start the comeback, but they just can't finish it. But I think this year they're finally going to be able to do it. You know, they almost did it to France last World Cup, and I think this time they'll do it to the Netherlands.
Yeah, so I think Argentina is going to get a little bit of a reality check in this game. I actually have this game going to penalty kicks.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have it ending 2-2.
So actually pretty similar scores.
Yeah, 2-2 in regular time.
Right.
Nobody scores in extra time. It goes to PKs, and the Netherlands get their heart broken in PKs. Messi and Argentina have a scare. They have a big scare going into penalty kicks, but they get it done. And the reason I have this is because Argentina kind of breezed through the group stage, and then I have them going up against Tunisia,
Right. Versus
which for
me with France.
Yeah,
Right,
which
right,
for
right.
me, they kind of breezed through, and now this is their first real competition. So it throws them off guard a little bit.
Yeah,
But this Argentina team is still really
they
good
push through.
that they find a way to get it
I like
done
that.
just through PKs. Why not? Let Messi score the final one for the win. And
I like that.
they just escape a tough Dutch team who I think if the Dutch were playing maybe any other team on
Would
this
go
list,
through. Yeah.
they might have gone through.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
So yeah, Argentina going to the semis.
Yeah, for right now, this is going to be the most intense game that I have if it goes the way that we have it.
Definitely.
Anyways, for the next one, I have Germany versus Brazil. And oh man, Brazilians have been waiting for this one.
Revenge?
I am saying revenge. Brazil is gonna slap Germany 18. I'm just kidding. No, I think it's actually gonna be a really, really close game. I think that the Brazilians are gonna win, though. I think it's gonna be a 1-1 tie for the majority of the game. But then towards the end, I think Brazil is just gonna show their class, their pace, their agility, and just their control of the ball, and get 2 extra goals towards the end of the game, like the last 15 minutes or so, and win the game 3-1 against Germany and get their revenge.
No, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, so I have Brazil, Spain. So kind of similar here. This one will be a very interesting game. I can't remember the last time Brazil, Spain occurred. I mean, you got South America, one of the best South American teams, the juggernaut of South America, and the juggernaut of Europe, basically, with Spain. I mean,
the last time they played was in 1986.
Holy.
Where Brazil won 1-0 with the goal from Socrates.
Socrates. Wow. So this is gonna be crazy if this game happens. I have Brazil winning this game 2-1 in extra time. I have this game 1-1 heading into extra time, and I think it's gonna be a Neymar Jr. heroic.
Wow.
And late in extra time that secures Brazil this win and knocks Spain, who have looked incredible this whole tournament, but Brazil's team just too overwhelming and too much pace, too much just
class,
overall ability,
everywhere.
class. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Technical ability, just gonna outdo Spain for the first time in this World Cup. I think Spain is gonna outdo all their opponents until now.
Brazil, yeah, I like
which
that.
sends Brazil to the semifinals.
I like that a lot. All right, for my next game, I have England versus Denmark. This is really funny to look at, actually, because their flags are the exact opposites. Based on this picture that I'm looking at. But anyways, this is going to be a really good one. I think that Denmark are these dark horses. I know that Seth loves this team as well.
I do.
We both are very fond of this team. We both think that they have so much potential, and it's insane how strong their squad really is. And I think it's going to be a very, very close game, and especially in the beginning against England. I think England will take the lead early on, but at the same time, like, Denmark is going to keep going and keep pushing. And it's going to be similar to what Seth mentioned earlier, actually, with his Brazil-Spain game, where I see Denmark equalizing towards the end of the game, not exactly in the dying minutes, but like in the 60th, 70th minute, and then pushing it to overtime or extra time. And then in extra time, Denmark seals the deal with a 110th minute goal, winning it and going through to the semifinals.
Yes.
Pulling a major, major upset against the British English. anywhere in that area, people.
No, I love that. Yeah, I've got the real dark horse game here.
Yeah.
Denmark versus Senegal. Two
Yeah,
teams
that both played really well. and
yeah,
deserve it.
people could be sleeping on. So I've got an interesting.
Don't tell me
theory
you're
for
making
this
an
match.
African team get out at the quarterfinals again.
If you
Denmark's winning this game all day long, man. This Senegal, I'm sorry. Even with Sadio Mane, man, Denmark has been my ride or die team for like a whole year now, and I'm not changing my opinion on them. They will be going to the semifinals, just narrowly though, just narrowly. They escape with a 1-0 win.
Close game.
And I have a little theory about this game. Denmark win this game 1-0, but Denmark give up a penalty kick to Senegal late in the game
that they miss.
that Sadio Mane comes up to take, and Kasper Schmeichel makes a beautiful, beautiful save, sending Senegal home in heartbreak after Sadio Mane had a world-class performance against England coming back from injury. He just does a heartbreak for his national team, his fans, missing a penalty kick, which could have took this game into extra time, and then who knows. But he misses, and Denmark wins the game 1-0.
I like
and
that.
go to the semifinals.
You know, I felt that.
Yeah.
I saw that game playing in my head. Like I was like, God damn, holy cow!
God.
Like I felt heartbroken for Senegal there, and they haven't even played yet.
Oh man, that's funny. Okay, so for my last quarterfinal game, I have Portugal versus Japan.
Ooh.
And as much as we've been hyping up this Japan team, I hate to say it, but they're not going to be able to knock Portugal out. You know, I actually
What a
don't hate
run.
to, I actually don't hate to say it because I actually do like the Portuguese team. So to me it's you know. But I do think Portugal is going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be an easy game per se. But I do think they're going to win without giving Japan too many opportunities, which is why I think it's going to end 1-0, similar to the other game. But I don't see any penalty misses or anything super dramatic like that. I just see Japan missing a few shots that should have done better. But I think it'll be a very, very close game. But Portugal coming out on top with a 1-0 win, making them the next semifinalists on this list.
I like that. My last quarterfinal game, a game that I would be really excited to see two of my favorite players, Luka Modric's Croatia versus Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal, two Real Madrid legends, two Ballon d'Or winners.
That'd be so
This
sad.
is going to be a game. And let me tell you how it's going to go down.
Okay.
So we start out.
Oh no!
Minute one.
Minute one.
The ref
blows the whistle.
Oh my God.
I'm enthralled already. Tell me more. Minute two.
So this is what happens, boys. Croatia come out striking and win. Whoa. Not win. They don't win. They don't win. Whoa. Let's chill.
Spoiler alert.
Let's chill,
Spoiler
let's chill, let's chill.
alert.
Do they win a free kick?
They may or may not win. Yeah, they win a free kick. Yep. Croatia score a goal in
Oh
the
my
first
God.
half. They go up 1-0
1
on
minute.
Portugal. It's halftime. Oh, what minute?
Yeah.
28th.
Yo, that's so weird. I was gonna say the 27th.
Yo, that's
We
so
got
weird.
we got
I was born on the
telepathy.
27th.
Yo, what is going on, dude?
We have telepathy. What can I say?
Yo, this is trippy. All right. Anyways, so Croatia scores in the first half.
Okay.
It's 1-0 at halftime. The second half starts. And here comes Cristiano Ronaldo. Here comes the GOAT. About to make his mark on this game. And just like he did to Spain in 2018, Cristiano Ronaldo scores a second half hat trick. And Portugal win the game 3-1
Wow.
over Croatia, sending Luka Modric and his old compatriots home.
class.
It's one of the best showings by Cristiano Ronaldo
That's class.
of all time. He then gets asked to come back to Man United. Okay.
All right. Okay, buddy.
So Portugal goes to the semifinals now.
Okay, I like that. So for my semifinalists, I have Argentina and Brazil playing each other.
I also have Argentina and Brazil playing each other.
Solid. I respect it. I
Yes.
respect it.
Yep.
And then in my other semifinal game, I have Denmark versus Portugal.
I also have Denmark versus
yeah,
Portugal.
buddy.
Yeah.
Wait, what the? How do we end up here having the exact same?
My lord.
Because it's what's gonna happen.
Ladies and
Look at us.
gentlemen.
All of our differences have come.
They've come together.
as a unit.
They have
What
all
in-
come to one.
What an insane Final Four. How did
Oh
that
my
happen?
God.
All of the group stage differences, all of the knockout round differences just tied in together to bring you guys to the exact same Final Four. That is ridiculous. But ladies,
Well, let's see how we have these score predictions.
ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to predict the Final Four. Seth and Simone, we will reiterate it once again. Both of them somehow have the South American juggernauts, Argentina versus Brazil on one half of the bracket. And on the other half, they have Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal going up against Seth's Dark Horse squad, Denmark. A truly just jaw-dropping matchup for Seth. One where he almost can't decide his favorite player or his most favorite underrated team.
Denmark wins the whole thing.
Oh,
Whoa.
boy.
I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
It's cap. Okay.
Oh, man.
I would just like to start off with this Argentina-Brazil game.
Okay.
This might be one of the most entertaining games in World Cup history, and I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm serious. This
hope.
game might be one of the best all time. This is a game you might tell your grandchildren about. That is how good this game is going to be. This is the last time you will get Messi versus Neymar at a World Cup.
It's the first time, I think.
You might be right about that as well. But it is also the last. So the first and the last. Exactly. So this game is going to be wild. This game is going to be crazy.
We're going to start off with minute one again.
Minute one. No. I don't know about you, man, but I got this being a kind of high scoring game.
Yeah.
I got a lot, like a few goals in this game.
Yeah. More than two.
Yeah, more than two.
I agree.
I have this game going to extra time.
I do too.
Oh, do you have it going to PKs?
I do.
Oh, I do not.
You don't?
I do
Okay,
not. Just
okay.
extra time.
Hey.
Just
I
extra
mean,
time.
hey, either
Okay.
way, it's gonna be an I mean, if it
It's gonna
goes
be
to extra
entertaining.
time,
either way.
it'll be good. If it goes
we
to
want
PK,
as much
it'll
of
be
this
good.
game as possible.
Absolutely.
We want 120 minutes of this game
Yep.
right here,
Yep.
Argentina, Brazil.
Mhm.
I mean, I have this game ending 2-2.
That's how
in
I have it
regular time.
ending.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
But you have it ending 2-2 going
Into
penalties?
penalties.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So we end up 2-2 after the full 90 minutes, and then after an intense 30 minutes of extra time, no one can score, and we go into PKs. But go ahead.
For me, I have Argentina scoring the game-winning goal in extra time.
Who scores it?
Higuain. No.
With what, his belly?
Yeah, with his retirement. No. Actually, this extra time goal, it's going to Di Maria.
I respect that.
It's going to Di Maria.
Di Maria scores in these big games.
It's not going to be Messi.
Mhm.
It's not going to be Lautaro Martinez. It's going to Di Maria.
Nice.
And the reason I have it like this is because Argentina is going to do what Germany did to them in 2014 to
Mhm.
Brazil.
Okay.
Mm.
Scoring the dying minutes
Scoring in the dying minutes of extra time.
with an insane Di Maria goal.
It's going to be a volley goal. It's gonna
Nice.
be a
You
pretty
feel it.
volley goal
You
from
feel
Di
it.
Maria. That left
Hey.
foot curler
Yep.
is gonna be a banger, and the crowd's gonna go crazy, man.
I love
It's
that.
gonna be wild.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I know. It's gonna be crazy.
like that.
This is a game that every single person in the world should be watching because it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And Argentina, we will see you in the finals.
Respect it.
Ooh, boy.
Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, I do want you to keep in mind that in our last podcast over the summer, Seth did have Brazil winning the World Cup, but it looks
did.
like he changed
I did.
his thought process and has taken them out of the World Cup for in
I
total.
did.
Yeah,
I did.
I appreciate it. I respect it.
I just seeing what Argentina have become and what they have
Yep.
been doing over the past few months and just the form they're in, they
Mhm.
look unstoppable.
I respect it. I respect it. I respect it. All right, all right. So hear me out. We get into PKs.
Okay.
Super intense. All the Argentinians are holding each other's backs, and
Yep.
all the Brazilians are doing the exact same thing. All
Yep.
right. Okay. We start off. Messi, first one to take the PK. He steps up, looks kind of nervous. Like, wait, what? This can't be. He takes his shot. Top left corner. The goalkeeper jumps in the same direction, gets 2 fingers on it, pushes it against the bar, but it's not enough, and it goes in. Messi scores. Just barely, though.
Just barely.
Messi scores.
We know
just
how he's been with penalty
barely.
kicks
Oh,
before.
I know.
Ugh.
Anyways, we go through the entire game, or the entire PK shootout. Everyone is scoring every penalty.
Don't say
Argentina scores their 5th. Brazil has to score their 5th.
Don't say it.
Their 5th one to step up to the plate is Neymar.
Ah, don't say it. Not Neymar. Nah, you can't do that to Neymar.
Neymar Jr.
You can't do it to Neymar.
He steps up to take the penalty kick. He turns back, looks at Messi, and then kicks the ball out of bounds. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
What the? Boy, he don't like Messi that much.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You know, Simon, I was invested in that story.
I was.
Like, what the heck?
I was. I was feeling that one too.
Okay. I'm sorry. All right, let's get back to it. All right. He goes for an insane run up. He doesn't do his regular slow run up. He runs full pace at it. Looks like he's going to blast it. The keeper dives to the right, but he chips it down the middle. Brazil scores 5-5. We keep going in. Argentina keeps
keep
scoring.
going.
Brazil keeps scoring. We're at 10-10 here. No one has missed a penalty. It's up to the goalkeepers
Oh,
to finish
no.
it out.
Don't tell me Emi Martinez.
Emi Martinez comes up to the plate. He kicks it
Or-
down the middle. It goes in. Keeper jumps out of the way. It's a terrible penalty, but it somehow goes in.
Wait. Question for you. Who does Brazil have for the PK shootout? Allison or Ederson?
Ederson.
Ederson.
They have Ederson. They subbed Allison out in the 90th minute to put Ederson in for extra time and for PKs. Ederson comes up to the ball all fresh. He's only been playing 30 minutes here.
Don't say it.
He goes for the top right corner, but skies it.
Oh, it's
Brazil's
Ederson.
out.
Oh.
Ederson. He gets kicked off of Man City. And Brazil.
Oh,
out
and
of
his
the
whole
World Cup.
career's over. The end.
Wow, that got heartbreaking quick.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
got tragic.
It's all for Argentina, baby. All right. So that is the Argentina-Brazil game. Both me and Seth
Yes.
have Argentina going through to the next round, which is the finals. Who do you have winning the Denmark-Portugal game?
There's only one way this game can end. And unfortunately, the run of my dark horse team has come to an end. What a run it was for Denmark, a legendary run, but it comes to an end by the man himself, Cristiano Ronaldo. I have this game ending in regular time. No extra time, no PKs. I have Portugal winning the game 2-1. Christian Eriksen gets a goal for Denmark, but Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo rally back once again and just do enough to come out on top and win this game 2-1
I like it.
with I don't want to say a brace by Ronaldo, but he'll get one of the two.
Okay.
Maybe like a special like Joao Cancelo goal comes up from his left back position.
Yup.
And scores some
I
kind of
like
pretty
that.
goal.
So Seth has every football fan's dream.
Or actually,
the
I think he plays
finals.
right back at Portugal because Nuno Mendes plays left back. But yeah, anyways, yeah. So that's how I see it going.
So Seth has the battle of the goats in the
It has to
2022
end
finals.
One way only.
I like it. I wish I had Argentina-Portugal final. Maybe I do. Ready for this story? All right, here we go.
Oh no, not again.
All right.
You want to know how far over we are right now?
It'll be quick. All right. First half, 0-0, no goals. Intense gameplay. It's from one side to the other nonstop. These guys are fighting for their lives right here. All right, we get into the second half. In the 65th minute, we have Christian Eriksen scoring a goal from outside of the box. Everyone thinks he's going to cross it in, but he goes for the top right corner and he dinks it in there perfectly. All right, we have Denmark up 1-0 in the semifinals. We're in the 89th minute, and they foul Bruno Fernandes on the edge of the 18. We have Cristiano Ronaldo stepping up to take the final free kick of the game. He winds up, takes his shot. It hits the crossbar, and it goes down. The ball goes down, and then back up and out. It doesn't cross the line, and Portugal's run is over. Denmark advances.
Very nice.
So I have the Argentina-Denmark final.
Very nice. And I have the Argentina-Portugal final. I like it. Wow.
Why are we
You
speaking
really-
quiet all of a sudden? Come on, guys. This is the World Cup.
Wow, you. It seems like Denmark's more your dark horse team than mine, I guess.
Hey,
you
man.
you stole my dark horse team.
Hey, bro. I've been supporting them since 06, man.
Wait, what?
Finals, Argentina versus Portugal. I actually do not have a score prediction for this game. I do not.
Oh.
I don't know how this game is going to end. I could sit here and tell you guys plenty of stories, but we do have to
Please
wrap
don't.
up. So I'm just going to tell you a winner. And however it happens is how it happens. The winner of the Qatar
Should we say it at the same time?
2022
Should we say it at the same time?
World Cup is
Argentina. Argentina wins.
Argentina and Lionel Messi hoist the trophy, and it solidifies Lionel Messi as the undisputed,
Greatest of all time.
yes, leaving Cristiano Ronaldo, my idol, heartbroken, and ending both of their reigns on their national teams. The end.
I almost teared up there.
Oh, right. By the way, for me, Portugal wins the third place game and beats Brazil.
Oh, I have Brazil beating Denmark in the third place game.
Okay, cool,
So, yes.
But I like that we both had Argentina at the end. These are completely two different parallel universes. This could happen, but for some reason, we both have Argentina making the finals and winning the whole thing. So, Lionel Messi, prove us right.
They look unstoppable. Who will be the one?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys tuning in to this very extensive episode. Probably, I hope, the longest episode we will ever do on this podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching the World Cup 2022 predictions videos. Seth and Simone, any last words?
It's World Cup time, baby. Let's get it. Oh, you just lag or something? Like,
Nah, I just wanted to see how long you'd be silent for.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you, Messi. You know, just bring it home, bro. Bring it home for us Latinos, man.
All
Be
right.
the first World Cup we win in 20 years. That is my entire lifespan. Please bring it home to a
South America.
Latin American team.
Or anyone from the
Please.
Americas.
Let's go
Anyone.
USA. Don't forget about USA.
Yeah, let's not forget about USA. All right, thank you guys for tuning in to the podcast. We will see you guys, very shortly with a bunch of World Cup content on the way.
Yes.
That's Steph and Simone signing off, and I'm your host, Technical Director Gable Lurziak. We will see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.